Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Are we live?
And then you can. I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, we are. Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Let me pull this up. Let me just paste this out here. Um, since someone actually checked that we are live,
Yeah. Let me check real quick.
and is math material here? Did we just go live without him here?
We are live.
Uh,
Meth material, come back.
we
It's okay. He
actually.
has a 2-minute time window. We'll start
Oh,
without him.
this is already scuffed, man. What was I gonna do?
All good.
Okay. Um, well, I can someone actually check on YouTube?
Yeah, I checked. We're
Yeah,
live.
okay. Someone bumped the post, the VLR post. Good.
Yeah, let me find it.
Okay. We're just gonna take a couple minutes.
Yeah, the viewers have to wait for the content.
Yeah,
We're early.
they gotta wait.
Ruminate for it.
Because we're gonna put them in suspense.
Where is the post?
It was made like during the Furia MIBR game, so it probably got buried.
Oh, yeah. Hold up.
Um. I think you could just search it.
You guys like ever do like everyone in the Discord when we go live or no? I don't remember.
We do.
Okay, yeah, I should do that probably.
Yeah, I'll do it.
See, you guys, we're on top of things. If you're watching back the VOD, this is I don't know why you would be, but you know.
I see a really funny thread already.
Yeah,
Hold
we
up.
don't have an America's start of the week, so we should.
Yeah,
So
just start pulling up random threads.
random threads.
Yeah, I
See week
found
of
this
6.
one. This has like no comments, but I think it's really funny because it's true.
I remember I made a well, we're like you'll see, but we haven't done an America Pacific one in a while, so there's bound to be some good ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we actually have to cover a lot. I forgot we didn't do the
I found
previous
it.
week.
Hey, wait, math materials unmuted.
I bumped it.
Or no, never mind. I thought it
Yeah,
was
I
back.
posted it.
Anyways, uh, let me know when I can start.
I think we're good. Unless math materials. I mean, I think we should just start without him
Yeah,
for
start
now.
without him. Then if he comes back, yeah. Well, anyway, welcome guys to episode 5 of America's the Pacific VLR U Listening. This is going to be very scuffed again this week because I'm yet again hosting and I have no clue what I'm doing. But we got a lot to cover. You know, a lot of interesting things have happened. Some drama, some good games, a lot of shit games to be honest. But you know,
Yeah.
uh, anyway, let's go over what happened since the last time we were on. So the first game that happened was, I believe, 100 Thieves 2G. So could remember
Yeah.
it was a decent 2-0. First map went double overtime. Second map was very clean by 100 Thieves. So Nas, take me through it. What happened this game?
Okay. So first of all, I just want to say, 2G looked actually pretty good in this game. You know, they just came off the win of Loud, I believe, somewhere around there. And then, yeah, they lost the crew in a close series, and you were always just kind of wondering, is this like, are they going to revert back, or are they going to keep up this form from this game? I think we can see that they put up their form pretty well. Still not enough to edge out against 100 Thieves, but I would say that they performed pretty well. I say that LZ performed pretty good again. He was throwing in the EG match, and then now he's come back. He's much better as a player.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of
Well,
those rare cases where when he IGLs, he actually plays better because he's IGLing now, and somehow he's playing
yep.
better while IGLing. So I don't know how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, so for how I look at it, right? I mean, it's a great sign for 100 Thieves because getting off this win, because for their group standings they're currently 3-1, and then they just have to face, I believe it's Crew. So I mean, they are aiming for that top spot in the group after this victory, and it was a quick, nice little win on Icebox. I think that for Ascent, um, you're always going to have a bit of that difficulty, right? Because it's still about we're wondering about this ascent meta. Because some teams are going double sentinel, some teams are running a Tejo, some teams are running a Vise, a Killjoy, some are sticking with the old comps. So um, 100 Thieves are running pretty much the same thing as the normal comps, except for the Yori Tejo, which I think is a little suboptimal. I think that you should probably go more into it, like maybe put on a Vise, maybe put on something. But overall, it worked out for them. And Cryo is still going insane. I mean, he's just been fragging this entire time. I believe EU said somewhere that this is Cryo's meta, and I can see why. I mean, he's just been performing top notch every single match.
I just want to point out though one thing. If you look over here, 4 and 6 first kill first death, and then we look at his IGL, Mr. Sentinel, Gucio, 12 and
Oh,
5.
I never realized he's 12-5.
Like, listen, I know, like we all call Aspas a baiter, but this guy right here, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's actually insane. Like Boostio, I want to give Boostio props because he has been shitting the bed in like every single series. Um, and he's been like performing worse than FNS really. And you're in this game, he comes back on the Killjoy. He hasn't played Killjoy that much. He's only played 3 games, and 2 of them were in this match. Um, but Killjoy back in 2023, he won champs on mostly Killjoy. He was frying on it, and you can really see it here. Like look, he's like 24-21, 7-2 in first kill, first death, and then top frag in 20 and 13, 5-3. He is going insane. I just want to give him props there. Now he's not washed. It's not washed. He finally has. He can finally talk shit and back it up. It only took 2 years, but yeah. Revoke. What do you got? What do you think about this match?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, honestly, I watched Boostio entry on this map multiple times as Killjoy, and it was really funny because I think it was the first match I've ever seen where Asuna had good util. So Boostio got backed up a lot, and Cryo was very confident in taking space behind him. And I think the narrative that Cryo is a baiter is completely true. But in my mind, that doesn't change that he's an incredibly skilled player in the right situations on the right team. I think a
I
good example of that is when he was on X set, when he was playing with Zekin, where Zekin would play a Neon a lot of the time or Jet, but mostly Neon, and would just straight run it down, or Raze, sorry, it was Raze or Neon. And Cryo would play Jet and just farm kills. And when those two players were playing great, they were just completely unstoppable. Or Chamber,
yeah
yeah. So it's a weird situation. I love Cryo. I think he's one of the best players in Americas, but he is a beta, and I
yeah I think
think
yeah. Sorry,
it's a
go.
big detriment. Yeah, no, I just said it's a big detriment to him finding a team and being able to be a solid duelist for a lot of rosters. But in the right roster and under the right circumstances, I think he's like almost irreplaceable.
Yeah, I think this reminds me a lot of Demon One, right? How we've seen his play style back in the day, back like 2023 specifically, where he wasn't really the hard entry. It was always Jajima going in or someone else going in before him.
Yeah,
You can kind of see that here with Asuna. Asuna's very aggressive. It's like always throwing it in. Now it's Lucio as well. It's entry. I don't think it's necessarily a bad trait to have a new duelist player, to not be as aggressive, but I think if you are having that, they can only really play these 2 agents, right? Like there's a reason we don't see Cryo on Raze. And what we did see Cryo on Raze back in I think it was 2023 lock, and he was horrendous. I think that
Yeah.
was the what was it when Fnatic 13 won them on Fracture.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
horrible. But yeah, no. Also giving 2G their props, right? Obviously they didn't win a map, but they were pretty close here. Like we can see they're obviously moving in the right direction, uh, which is good. Like especially like with what they were given with their IGL dropping out on them. And this, I don't know, this gives me hope for them in stage two. You know, when they get spikes. Anyway, let's
I
move
mean,
on to
just
the
talking about
next.
Demon 1, we should just go on straight on to G2 Lev then.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. We're ahead of G2 Lev. Um, I'll start off. This was a shocker series, to be honest. I think we all expected this to be a quick 2-0. You know, G2 being who they are and Lev being who they are in previous weeks. But I don't know, coming out on the Lotus, the Lev shocked us. We got Demon 1 back on Duelist on Neon, no less, which I think was his first game of Neon. His first ever game on Neon. And he's putting the Bader allegations to rest. I'm not gonna lie. He was going in, he was using his util well, and he was, he's top frag, he's playing well. Kind of carried his team, honestly. But we're bringing in to see some of the 2023 Demon 1 again. We got King back on smokes, which I'm always happy to see because I thought King was a much better smokes player than he is a duelist. Um, yeah, text on Viper, I don't really like, but they did on the map. The one I will talk about is G2's comp here. I feel like now that we're getting more into the offseason, we see this today. G2 against who did they play today? It's already been too long. C9. G2
Yeah.
against C9, where they're playing on some maps. They're playing Yoru, where Yoru doesn't work as well as like hard entry duelists like Raze or Neon. And I think a Raze or Neon would like do much better in this comp because of the map, how the map works. But I don't know. I feel like we're starting to see a bit of cracks show as all the other teams are beginning to catch up. Um, this map here, Fracture, we got to see we got to see the switch back. We got to see King back on Duelist and Demon 1 back on Smokes. And as you can see, I pray to Lev, please don't keep switching them, Like we just saw Demon 1 have an amazing game on Neon, and then this happened. But yeah, no, this was really good by really good by Lev. And again, you got to see G2, like their unconventional talks are starting to work against them. With the Waylay. This Waylay, it was not good. I've always been a Waylay hater. I've always thought that I've never seen a good comp or a good map like that. Waylay has actually been used well and has not just been carried by some frag.
Since day one.
Yeah. And then Haven, it was a stomp, but at least they brought it back from there. But yeah, I just want to like this map was more of what you expected between the G2 Lev matchup, but give Lev their props here. They did make it very close. Maybe they could have won on Lotus and then went on made it 2-0, but this gives me a lot of good hope for Lev.
Yeah. I just want to talk about the fracture from G2. I mean, first of all, I just want to talk about this Waylay especially, because I mean, we saw Jogama be one of those Waylay players that we were saying, oh, he's performing very well on, right? He's a 1.21 rating, but that's also because he's Jogama, right? And we see the result of what happens when you have a player who isn't like just killing 3 people with Waylay on their first entry. They just become utterly useless on the attacking side. They use all their utility. They either get a kill or they just die or they come back and they have no utility to enter on the sides. And we saw that was very punishing with on Waylay. I mean, if you just look at he's just unable to do anything throughout like most of the rounds. I mean, he dropped 11 kills at 11:21. He went 3-2 on first kill first death. Not even the most. It was like a tied round to the team on first duels that they take. And overall, just I'm just seeing from like we saw like EDG pick up Waylay on Fracture, but now they've dropped it, right? We've seen these teams slowly pick up Waylay and then slowly drop it. Whereas for G2, we're seeing a bit more consistency into that Waylay. So I'm really wondering if they're just using this as like a surprise factor. Maybe we don't pick Waylay in the future and you prep for nothing, or if they're just gonna stick with this Waylay and just sort of kind of hope that Jogamo gets to every round.
Another
For
thing
as
I'm
a
gonna
yeah.
mention. Oh no, you can go.
I was gonna say for as a whole though, I think G2 have been like we expect them to be like this very dominant force in Americas, but overall they've been two running people a lot. like it's not a fault to G2 by the way, but it's just like to say that maybe these teams that we view much lower than G2 like aren't that low, especially like the C9 match was a very close one. The Lev match was also especially close. So I think that we should yes, although these teams are worse than G2 very clearly, they're not that far off.
Yeah, another thing I was going to quickly mention is I also just think Lev had a really good game plan going into this game. If you want to pull up a really fun stat, if you go to Fracture and then you go to Attack, and then you look at the first kills, he had 1 in 0. So if you watch the match, what was happening a lot is I think Lev knew they were going to pick into Waylay, and so they picked a very util focused team and just didn't give any space for Jaw to like dash into sight, get a kill, and get out. Most of the time, he was dashing on, he saw nothing or got spammed with util and got out, and then it was just kind of like he was playing a normal round without a TP. And I thought that was a really, really interesting counter strat where it made his other teammates have to entry, which they're obviously not as comfortable on. And Lev just had a great defender half because they didn't even have to deal with the waylay, jumping in and getting a free kill.
Yeah. Well, Lev play tomorrow against NRG to see who'll make playoffs. Hopefully, the one thing I do want to see from them is to keep up this form and for King to be off the list. I think Demon won this match has proved like there was what was it from King who said like Demon won, he doesn't press W. What was it? But he definitely did in this match. He was definitely entering. He was going in first. Um, he was using all his util. Like and I'd rather have King on Smokes to be honest. I think Smokes is a better Smith player than Demon One overall. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can transition Demon One more onto the other agents. Obviously we have only seen his Neon and Jet, but I don't know. We've yet to see his Raze again, and if they are gonna play Yor, we've only seen it once and didn't look amazing. But who knows, Anyway, let's move on to the next matchup, which was Sen Loud, right? And this was
Woo.
a close game, well, until the last map, but close game, and I was very disappointed uh, in this game, and I don't know, because I was rooting for Loud. I wanted the underdogs to win. I thought Luxo deserved it to make playoffs after Loud basically lost on it because they didn't bring him in for a bit. But yeah, no. What happened this game, Revoke? Let me know your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, so this game was Narrate playing the game as he should. Since I mean, in my mind, like the biggest problem I had with Sen, and I still have with Sen, is they have how do I explain it? A lot of teams have this problem where it's always one or two people playing well on a map, and then everyone else kind of shitting the bed. Like if you look at Lotus, like yeah, Narrate plays great, John plays great, everyone else kind of just, in my opinion, shits the bed. And then you go to Haven, and obviously they just get boosted by Narrate.
To be
I
fair,
mean they played well, yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
played
yeah.
well, but in my mind, like it's just I don't know. I don't see a lot of Sen activating all at the same time on the same map. And I get that that's kind of uncommon, but when you look at the roster and you see the people who are on this roster, you kind of expect like Narrate and John and Bang and Zekin to all be, getting kills, playing well in a map. And when you see some maps where it's just two people, just three people, and everyone else kind of just looks like they're there, kind of autopiloting, it's a bit concerning. But at least in this game, I mean, Narrate just went nuclear. Really happy with his performance. I think I watched an interview with Zekin. I forgot if it was after the first week or before the first week, but he went on an interview and they were talking. He was talking about his team. He was with Wyatt River, and something he mentioned, which I thought was really interesting, is Zekin or not Zekin? Sorry, Narrate was not confident enough, and he just needed one good game on stage. He said, in quote, one good game on stage. They play the first match versus 100 Thieves. They do not play well. They play versus Crew. He does not play well. They play versus EG. He nukes. and then he immediately goes, "Oh, I can play the game," and then he nukes versus Loud as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he continues this. The thing with players like Narrate who are extremely emotional is when they're there, and they just need to get that like first push, like, "Hey, I can play the game. Hey, I can kill people," and then they just keep it going.
Yeah. I agree, and that's you here.
Yeah.
No, for a second. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this game?
First of all, I just want to bring up Loud bait in search for Vinny to Luxor, right? And I mean, he just looked incredible. He just was nuking people. I mean, this is a great performance to put
Vinny
up. But
switched
again,
with Tui's, not
sorry,
Alexa.
2 years, 2 years. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Luxor swapped in for 2 years, and then 2 years swapped in for Vinny. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But I mean, I think this is overall is a very good move for Loud because Vinny was putting up some pretty poor performances overall. I think that for the IGLing for this game, it looked a little rough, but it's always looked a little rough for Loud. So I think it wasn't too big of a problem. Obviously, it's a bit disappointing on this match result because you're looking at like Split and Lotus. You're thinking Loud could have maybe taken this, but overall, Sen played a very good game. Narrate was flying off, right? He's super confident now, and I think that for the rest of Loud, they just I mean, we really just need to see these game plans come in now because we've seen these fraggers. We've always had fraggers on Loud. The main problem is not whether Loud can frag; it's whether Loud can come up with a cohesion plan, right? I mean, yes, if you look at Pancal and Kawazine, they did underperform a bit. But even if they didn't underperform, but if you look at like if Zakin was online, right? If Bang was online, if these other players were also online, then Loud still lose, even if you say, oh, Pancal and Kawazine, right? So I think the main thing for Loud is definitely to work on their macros still. I mean, they, they came close, but again, they just didn't have a quite a solid enough idea, especially on Lotus, I think it was, where they, sorry, Haven, where they just got
Yeah.
absolutely washed. I mean, just you just watch their attack, their defending half, and it's like they just have no idea what they're doing. So I think overall, I believe Loud as a roster can improve, but from now, I still think that they're one of the definitely bottom two teams in Americas.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tui's coming in. You got to feel for the guy. He went from duelist to smokes to sentinel to now flex, right? And I mean, he is obviously like I think he's definitely deserves to be on T1. I definitely think like if I mean the only other Brazilian team is Furia, but like he definitely deserves to like play smokes for a tier 1 team. He's definitely a top smokes player, right? We saw it last year, we saw it in 23. Um even in Sentinel, like it wasn't horrible, right? It was it was decent. But like, he's coming in, he's playing flex for the first breach for the like he's not usually known for his breach. Um and I will say I think it is a good move because Vinny, he hasn't been performing at a T1 level, even like at a bottom T1 level, and his calling and strats I don't think are good enough to make up for it. Um, I will say on the side of Sendo, I do want to praise they have finally gone back to the neon. Finally. When you think
Yeah.
Sentinels, like I was so mad in the off season. Like if we just look, almost every single game. All right, here, let's look at it from like the actual games that they actually tried it. Neon, 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 your rays, neon, 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 right? And then they go to kickoff. Where's neon? Where's our boy Zekin on neon, who is dominating all off season on neon, right? Who is one of the best neons in the world, right? And they finally gone back to it, and it's like it's not even off meta. That's the crazy thing. Like in kickoff and in like Bangkok, whatever, they didn't play Neon at all, and it made no sense to me because she wasn't off meta on like maps like Lotus and Fracture, and Zekin is just one of the best Neon players. So why would you take her out? But we finally got him back on Neon. Like yes, he underperformed a bit, but I think this is a step in the right direction. Like I mean, you even see it here, 13-5, right? And that was what 9-3 on the attack half. But I will say on Loud side, you got to feel bad for Luxo. He's coming in and he's dominating. Like he's like the mini
Yeah.
Russ is what we called him last year in Ascension. He's definitely showing it. But I will say one thing about Loud. You check over here, SDK. Well, he's still here, but he was fired. SDK is no
Oh,
longer
really?
part of the roster. Yeah.
Thank God. Saved.
Um. So I don't know who's going to be the coach now, but I don't know if they fired him because they have one more game. But I don't know if they fired him for next stage, but I assume because they leaked that he's already gone. So, um, yeah, no, I don't. Do you think this is a justifiable thing for to let go the coach after, or is it 6 losses in a row?
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
some change had
absolutely
to be
think so.
made, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think as well he was getting a lot of flack last year because he was the head coach last year as well. Um, and what was it? If we remember, Loud they went in, they had Sadak Neon. It was not good. But yeah, no, I think this guy like he's been on Loud for a while, right? He joined at the end of 2022. Um, 2023 was a good year for them, but I think now, as we can see, even with like MIBR this year, we can mostly attribute that to fraud. And SDK is out. Hopefully, they find a good coach, because these players, right, like they might be like one of the worst teams now, but in their prime, Kalanzine is an amazing initiator player. Pinkpot is an amazing smokes. Digidine is an amazing duelist. Luxo is like insane, right? And Tui is, maybe not on the flex, but on the smokes, right? Like it could be better. Like if they started running like double controller Sentinel, maybe that could work for them. But yeah. Anyway, uh, hopefully
Real
they
quick
get better.
before we move on,
Yeah.
just a note. There's 3 things I want to say. First, someone
Eh.
should clip Hades saying "nyan nyan." Second, um, yeah, he said "neon" twice and it sounded like "nyan nyan." Someone should clip it. Second thing I wanted to say is there's a quote, the thing that separates the good teams from the great teams is closing it out. And I feel like Loud is obviously a good team, but I don't think they're a great team. I feel like a lot of the time you watch these matches and they just are so close and they just can't close it out. And the third thing I want to say is after the match versus 2G, after the first map, he went on an interview with Elizabeth Marchini and he said something along the lines of like, yeah, they just got lucky and we got unlucky and next map we're gonna win. Don't worry about it. And that was the
Well,
entire
after the
interview.
first
And then they
map of
lost. After the first map of versus 2G.
versus 2G.
Yeah, it was
Oh yeah.
miserable. It was the worst interview I think from a coach I've ever heard. Like no credit to the other team. Like you just went like, yeah, we got unlucky, they got lucky and it was just I was like, all right, bro. Like
I
that's
feel
that's
like that's
that's
something
sick.
you tell your players, just like to get their mental back up. But
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly. But he's telling it to an interviewer, bro.
yeah, no, it was
So yeah, I was just like, all
yeah.
right. So I'm not really surprised he got removed after they aren't seeing much success.
Also, math material is here. He's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have awoken from my slumber. Somehow I made it.
Yeah.
Actually crazy.
Do
Welcome,
you
welcome.
have an opinion on the Sun
Yeah.
Loud game?
Yeah. Not but should they was they should have they were supposed to play better. And again, what you mentioned with the rate, he had a really good game. And it's probably that game where he just activated and probably will play well from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is good signs from Sen. I think especially we're gonna talk about it, but especially with some other teams that are looking for qualification for Toronto looking a bit shaky. I think this is if they can keep up this momentum, they'll definitely punch their slot there.
They could definitely make
But
Toronto.
let's talk about our next match, which was a, a bit
Fury
of a
side.
bit of a close, a bit of
Who
a
versus me?
bipolar, but or how do you say like I don't know, just it went from one of the closest maps you'll ever see
Oh
to
yeah.
almost a 13-0, you know? And I'll start.
This
I
is really
just
funny.
I forget who said this. I forget who I was watching. Watch party, like the watch party, but they said something along the lines of most teams, they are shit. They will only be good at like they'll be really good at like maybe one map, and then the rest of the maps they'll be like mid, right? But Furia, they're really good at Lotus. This one map, but they're completely shit on every other map. Like, there's no way that's how, like, on Lotus, they're able to use their util, they're able to link util together, they look insane, and then any other map that comes up, they just can't do anything. Like, they unplug their monitors. And then they're like, yeah, no, like they probably just scrim Lotus only, like every day. They don't
That
scrim
is
any other maps. Oh no, yeah,
that is being generous.
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
no.
for me, I think Furia, what they do is that the coach goes, okay, guys, we're not going to be one of the best rosters ever, so we're going to play Lotus, and we're going to win Lotus. We're going to only play Lotus, and when we win Lotus, we'll just pray that on one of the other two maps, we win mechanically. Because,
When
oh
we
my
win
gosh, just see me.
first problem when we win Lotus, when we win
Yeah,
Lotus.
I mean, Cloud9 have been looking amazing.
Yeah, they have
I
like
mean, as a
this is
roster,
Furia they're playing against, but like give them credit, they have been playing very well.
yeah. I mean, it's always a little sketchy, right? We always know that Cloud9 are group merchants, but as of now, they're looking good. Zeppa, I would say, we've always bring up his one life game, but he's having a life season. He's just been playing super well throughout the year, I feel like. I mean, if you talk about like how inconsistent he is for now, I mean Zeppa overall, he's not been putting up those like horrible matches. He's always at least at either the top or at the middle of the leaderboard. Especially against NRG. I mean, this guy has been he's been insane against NRG. So I think you should really give C9 the props here for that Lotus, because I think that if they play a slightly worse team, Furia do in fact win Lotus. But I mean, on the other maps, I don't know what Furia. It's a different team. They've just never played any other map besides Lotus.
I think they just scrim one map.
Have they
I think that's
gotten?
all
Oh,
they
the
do.
most
They
rounds
just
they've gotten is 10 versus G2. Oh wait, no, that's Lotus. That's Lotus. Most they've gotten is
that's Lotus.
yeah, if you
Yeah,
go.
I just did the stats. Their best map that isn't Lotus was 13-9 win over MIBR. Yeah, so I literally just
When
finished.
was
So
that?
Furia on Lotus.
Oh, that was
It
today. That was
was
today.
yeah, that was today. Yeah, so Furia on Lotus, they've played it 3 times. This group, they went 14-16 versus C9, 10-13 versus G2. They beat NRG 13-10. And then every other map they've played 1-13, 7-13, 2-13, 4-13, 4-13, 5-13, 3-13. Won one map 13-9 and then lost 8-13. It's so bad, dude.
Yeah, no, this is horrendous. If we're talking about a Brazilian coach that needs to get fired.
Oh, dude.
Oh, and look at this. Look at this logo right here. I wonder what logo this is.
And
yeah,
on the
all which is
same
cursed.
and on loud the same time as STK.
Yeah, no,
Now
he
that
was
is
the assistant coach
interesting.
last year, right? For that.
Yep. Oh no, he was the main coach. I think it was when
Was he?
STK was still the assistant.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, wow. They
Maybe,
saw him
yeah.
put Sadak on Neon and were like, yeah, this guy, he's got the strat. They saw him fail to qualify to 2 events with less Sadak, Kalamzine, and Tui's in their prime, and they wanted that, you know. And they saw the Phoenix meta, they were like, yeah, no, we definitely want that coach, guys. But I don't think we need to spend much time on this unless you guys have any more thoughts.
Nope.
No?
Uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Brazilian nepotism. Name a better duo. All right, we can move on now.
Yeah. Anyway, we have next game, which was
Crew versus
EG
EG.
Crew. What an upset!
dude.
What an upset! On point crazy. You know, this
mean-
was as an EG fan. You know, like I'm a fan of EG, like not like a big fan. You know, but like I like Ye. You know, I like Potter. I want to see them succeed. And it's like hard not to root for the underdogs. But going in, Crew, you would probably pred them like 95 to 5%. Like Crew was looking primed to be top of the group. They looked insane, right? But this was just a disaster class by them and a master class by EG. Like the Lotus.
A lot of things had to go right,
Yeah.
for this score line to happen. Like 430 on Lotus is absolutely criminal.
Yeah, no.
The Crew players couldn't shoot back. They like obviously they weren't just they weren't feeling it that day. Maybe they just weren't shooting back. The gunfights that they take, the mob mentality that they have. When they normally play, it just wasn't there. So they were weak in the firepower department, and Potter just had the perfect read. Like the anti-strat was perfect. They were one step ahead of them. They were if you like. I don't have a particular round in mind, but they would, just perfectly bait out util perfectly, just slow them enough in the attack round halves where crew would just get confused as to, they won't know what to do because they've been slowed enough by EG. And then in the late round scenarios, crew would just fail. They would just fail to close out the round. And I think it was played really well. I think it was a really, really good anti-strat against crew. And again, I said like a lot of things had to go right for the scoreline to happen, and crew just couldn't shoot back.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just think that Kesnet got on a huddle with his team and said, "Let's eliminate Brazil from the playoffs." Because
Listen,
I
I'm
mean,
not I'm not gonna say anything, but first map they go 1-7, second map 1-7, and you can't see it here, but Kevin in the first map did go 1-7 and kill and KD. So
Uh,
I'm not saying there's a
um,
conspiracy, but there's a conspiracy.
the
I
all
think
jokes
so.
aside, I mean, EG played super well. I think their game plan has improved. I mean, if you were looking at it, like the earlier weeks of the team, they were just like they did not know how to defend. They kept playing like super like weak retakes, right? Where they just didn't know what the positioning was. They didn't know what they were doing. You look at here, EG look much more coordinated. They have a solid game plan. They look like they've scrimmed quite a bit. Their utilities are looking much better compared to before. I feel like Superman, he's been playing super well.
Yeah, gotta
He's
give Unkis prompts. 22
yeah,
and 5. He could not lose a duel this entire map. It was
exactly right.
insane.
But I don't expect this to be a consistent performance. I think Crew is just had like an off game. We know them as like this like very mechanical team that they're like the foot of Americas, where they play like together. They play very mechanically. They just try to outduel you. And I think that today was one of the days where they just weren't aiming that well. But I think for EG, this is a huge win. This gets them into playoffs, and I can see this EG team eventually by the end of the year being super like past EG, not at the heights of past EG, right? Like with winning champions, but I
Like
can see them
B
becoming
tier, Or like a
yeah,
B tier
yeah,
team.
like going up
Yeah.
going up to a B tier, right? Because I think Potter is an excellent coach, and you're starting to see how she's shaping EG into a better team.
Rook, you got something?
Yeah. First Potter Masterclass. Second thing I'm gonna mention is this game slightly worried me because I mean, this might go back into the controversy, but if you watched their cams during this game, dude, they did look like they did not care. Like they were laughing, dude. They had smiles on their faces, and it was crazy. And I'm not saying I don't know. It was just weird. It's not as worrying to me because they've lost games like handedly and come back the map after. Let me see. I think I'm thinking for Loud. Yeah. Yeah, the game versus Loud, they lost the first map 13-3, and then after that they just played fine. So I'm not super worried about them like just getting mental boomed, checking out, just having fun and losing a match easily, especially in playoffs. But it was a really weird situation to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team lose that hard as a team that's supposed to win and just laugh it off. So I don't know what was going
I
on,
mean,
but I don't know.
yeah. I feel like what this is my theory of like what actually happened. Like no like they threw so no Brazilian teams could make it type thing. But I generally think they came into this week and they found out they were playing EG, who have been shitting the bed in the past weeks, right? And they didn't take it as seriously, right? Like they didn't practice as seriously, didn't like aim strat seriously. They might have been thinking, let's save strats for 100 Thieves so we can guarantee our 1 seed, something like that. Like save strats for playoffs. Like this is gonna be an easy win. EG came in heavily prepped. They came in wanting to win, like with hunger, and it was just they just rolled them over. Um, I think as well something that like I don't know, maybe kind of surprised me a bit was I think Dan Dryad, she went on Plat Chat and she was talking about how she went back to the crew guys. I think it was like either the night after or the day after, something like that. And they were all like super pissed and they're like, oh, what did we do wrong? You know, like they're all mad about it. I'm like, I don't know, like that, like I don't want to say something, but like I feel like this is just a result of them not working hard enough in the preparation. You know, like that's what it seemed like to me because they did not look prepped at all. Like of the crew that we know, like they did not look on like online. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think plausible theory?
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
plausible. I mean, the other thing I was going to mention really quick is I think EG is really overhated as a team. Like, I think people think they're just horrible. If you look at their previous matches, like they beat 2G, who I also think is overhated. 2G
I mean,
won
this is
versus
2G with
Loud.
Zap, right?
A lot of the Yeah, it is. But either way, like I still feel like they're overhated. Like I think in general, like 2G has a lot of close games, even with Zap. Um, and they still have players on that team who we know are good, like Askia, Silence, and LZ. Like they both, like all that trio has played fine for the rest of the matches. And then you look like versus 100 Thieves, like that game, in my opinion, was genuinely pretty close. You look at Sen, they got kind of shadowed, but it's okay. And then they play Crew and they play well. Like I really do think this EG team's overhated. They're 2-2 in the league, and I think people saying that they're just like bottom barrel is very there's some cognitive dissonance going on there.
Yeah.
It's just not true.
Another thing I want to point out is like this is I think the first game we're seeing all of their players online, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
this is like a bit of an underperformance by Ye, right? But this is like the first game where I've seen Icy like actually look, you know, pretty decent besides versus 2G, right? Yeah, this is like the first game I've seen him like look pretty decent. And like Superman, Derek, Nature, they've each had maps where they've been pretty good, but then they've been pretty inconsistent. But this is the first time we've seen all of them together. My one worry for this team is that they had two 210 at pack off, which is very impressive, but we haven't seen their defense. Their defenses were like they've struggled in the past. So I'm a bit worried
Yeah.
about that. But this just gives me a lot of hope for them. I will say though, it was a treat to see EA back on Jet. Brought a tear to a grown man's eye. Um, I thought right last week it was last week they played Pearl and the roles are switched. They played
Right.
IC and Ye.
yeah, IC was
Oh yeah.
Shed and Ye was Phoenix.
No. IC was on Jet, Ye was on Yoru, and now they
Yeah,
switched.
IC was in Jet, my bad.
Yeah.
That was
It
not a
was
good map.
IC was not entering and like not doing it like and Ye had to do everything. And now this map, we got to see like them switch. I think Ye did look rusty. I don't think obviously this isn't his best performance ever, but he did look comfortable in some rounds, and it was nice to see him like especially I think whatever round was with his knives where he went crazy was nice. Um, yeah, no, it was nice, and I don't think Clove is the agent for him either. Like if you look like Clove isn't really his main agent, like it's kind of hard where to like put him, like you want to put him on certain agents, but he hasn't really been performing well on them. But I also think some of that is partly because of his team. Like his KJ stats look horrible, but that map where he
It's
played
one
KJ,
map, yeah.
his team was not setting up well, Like same thing with York, But this gives me a lot of hope for EG. Who do they play next? They play Loud next,
Very loud.
and we'll talk about that when we get to Creds. But yeah, moving on, we got another
And now
banger
MIPR.
matchup, another banger matchup, NRG versus MIBR, and this was
Oh,
a
this was a
rough one
mind-boggling.
again.
This was
Yeah.
cinema, dude. Holy moly. That Verno 1v4 was it wasn't 1v4, it was a 4K 1v2. That was actually one of the like I'm not even gonna say that was one of the most impressive clips, but that was actually like hilarious. Like just watching that go down, I was like, dude, NRG, like I don't know, like Mata was like rage peeking or something, bro. He's like running it down Link with knives while an ult's going off, like not even holding Psalm. Psalm's just sticking it, like just full confidence and just gets destroyed by Verno. Like it was just oh
Yeah.
dude, like NRG just looks yeah, how do I describe it? Like
They
I
just
don't
have
want to
no
say
shooters.
lost.
They have no shooters and they have no strats. It's like
No, they have shooters. That's the problem.
no.
Like Sam is insane, dude. No. Sam is insane, and we've seen Mata go crazy.
So what do you
Okay,
mean
yeah,
they have
yeah.
a shooter?
What
They
I've
have
said
two.
about this
That's just,
team is they have 1.5 shooters. 1.5.
yeah,
And
that's
I'm not okay.
No,
Okay,
but
the Ethan propaganda is back. I just want to go on a tangent real quick. I hate recency bias so much because I have people seeing this game from Ethan, which is like a fucking life game from him, and they're telling me, "Oh yeah, Ethan, he's back. He's like Ethan's a good player." And I'm like, "Have you seen his other games? Ethan has been completely like I don't want to say completely shit, but he has been shit. You know, like he has been like if we just go, yeah, no, that bro, that's versus Furia, bro. Anyone goes positive for Furia, right? Like
One
he's
game.
fragging versus below FNS, bro. He's like
Bro, he's been fine,
okay. To
bro.
be honest, okay. To be honest,
okay. You're going to a free
he has
team
been
now?
like mid and like, but he's been inconsistent mid. Like he's been mid, but like he's been more consistent fragging worse than he has been fragging better. That's what I'm trying to say, right? And I feel like this is not a performance you can count on him to keep. I think that's NRG's main problem with me. Like this is NRG's main problem is that they don't have players that consistently be amazing, right? Like they have Mata, but sometimes Mata's like can overheat. But I think that is also a problem with his team. Because I think if Mata is on a team where he has more shooters around him, he doesn't feel the need to overpeak. Even he's
Yeah.
like we said, he's inconsistent. Like sometimes he has a good map, but most of the time he's either mid or below mid. Finesse, we all know about finesse. Psalm, like I like Psalm. He's a good player most of the time, but a lot of the times, especially this year, he has not been performing like at his peak. Most of the time, he's been like a middle of the pack player. Brock, he came in, he had large shields to fill, and he just didn't fill them. And I feel like this is a main
Actually, want to
problem.
talk, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Haven comp, the Jet Kyoru. That is, they could not attack with this comp. Like they didn't have any proper stunts to work with. Ethan was just not like Ethan. He is a good, like I would say he's a good Yoru player. He can flash for his team, but he doesn't have that instinct, take a timing or and TP somewhere and create space. Like he's not a entry player like that. And I don't think you can't. That comp is very good. Like it's a ranked comp.
I just want to say
Yeah,
this
just
is
I
the
think it's a
only this is
vitality
the
one.
only other map I remember ever seeing Jet Yoro on Haven. Like if someone else can remind me of another map.
wait. I actually have quite a bit of points on this. Let me just quickly send you the VOD. Just can you just click on the VOD that I sent in
Oh,
Discord?
it's on Discord or
Yeah.
on here
T-Dog
this.
videos will for later.
Yeah.
Point for
So
MIBR.
I want
They
to
can
start
take
from here,
things
right?
nice and
Because
slow. Play for that
NRG,
forward.
we look on this pistol round, and it's just perplexing to me because when you think of like FNS, right? You think of like a very very like they're very good caller. Maybe his mechanics aren't that great, but you think he makes very good ideas, right? So now what NRG are gonna do is that they're gonna bait a bit on this B side and they're gonna take C here, right? So they're gonna break the strip, and they're gonna get the bomb down for free. MIB are far away from this, right? Now this is a 3v4 position, and we have Mata going to garage, and he's gonna walk all the way for a B flank, while MIBR is already sending utility. Can you pause? Yeah. So what we see here is that Mata, after FNS hears a barrage of 3 people here, he instead of going back to help FNS, he keeps walking up B, expecting to help. Now FNS, in reaction of hearing so many people,
Wait,
runs back.
I just wanna point out. Wait. Sorry. You can keep going in a second. But FNSC is 1, 2, 3, and he hears the fourth, right? Even if he doesn't like know for sure all four are there, he knows like at least 2 or 3 are there. He turns away to run, right? Like this is probably a good thing to do in a 3v4. Wait for the flank. Try to reset. And look at this guy, Psalm, rage peeking,
Exactly. That's
rage
that's what my
peeking.
point is.
He's running
This guy
out, and
just
then
runs.
Finesse has to turn around. Like if you look at the mini map, right? Finesse
Okay,
is
yeah.
gone. He sees Song go back. He turns around. It's like, yeah.
And then Mona's just left on the island, unable to win this round. And I'm just really wondering what are the comms here. Like, what? I mean, you think the coordination would be somewhat decent, right? But then everybody's just thinking of their own, and they don't really have an idea of what they want to do. Can we go to the buy round for energy, like the
The donut.
bonus for MIBR?
This is it, right?
So before that,
Oh no.
be before this.
I think I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah. So this round, um, you know, they come here again, and this is the thing. They have this double duelist comp, which I actually don't think is that bad, right? Because they're what they're doing is they're having modder entry. Okay, yeah, I say that, and Ethan gets taken out like that. But what happens is that wait, no, this is
Oh
the
no,
this is the
this is the wrong
after this.
route. This is the wrong route.
Wrong, wrong,
We
wrong.
just want to see energy downfall, man. We just love to
I
see
was like,
it, man.
I didn't remember like Ethan dying like that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
after
here we
this.
go. Here
Yes.
we
So
go.
this round. So what energy are having to is they're having modder entry, and then they're having Ethan like sort of as a second duelist trading in, which is sort of somewhat like opposite of what you kind of had in like EG, but it's like it's whatever, right? You know. So they have a double walk up on the duelist, and you'll see is that they will put a smoke there. By back C, they have modder entry, and then they have the rest of the team walk up. Now, what's perplexing to me is first of all, I mean, they take this angle right. It's pretty good. They get the bomb down, but NRG are just obsessed with like so what they'll have like a bunch of people walk back, but then for some reason they have some smoke up on this box and garage. I mean on C, and I just don't understand why they did this for multiple rounds. It's clearly something that's working in scrims, but it's just a really irregular smoke. But like you're not surprising anyone, right? Like he just gets insta utiled out. He has to jump out because he doesn't have a teleport, and he gets caught out by 4 players because his whole team is on back point. I mean on the all the way in main. And then what they do is that they just kept spamming here, and then they just get instant farmed, and then it's just like you have full side control, and then you waste your smoke instead of holding it down on CT or like or using the smoke to smoke yourself off, right? And using that to play post plant. What you do instead is that you smoke back back like C, and then you teleport on there, and then insta util and die. It's just really weird of an idea that I just think that NRG really don't have an idea of what to do on this attacking half, and they've been consistently getting on this. They consistently get the bomb down, but are unable to hold the actual site. So I think that overall they really need to work on their post spawns because they just look very uncoordinated, and then their ideas that even that they come in and bring in aren't very good. It's just very perplexing, especially when you have FNS as an IGL, which you know has been good for that attacking core.
Yeah,
Listen,
no,
the only way I think this team, has any chance of being good is if FNS moves off central. The number of times I'm thinking, a real central player there, would probably take a more aggressive angle. He'd probably play a more, unsafe position in hopes that, he can get a kill and, turn the round around, But no, FNS is just too afraid to take a fight. I watched this guy completely bait the fuck out of his team because he's too afraid to take a fight. He takes contact garage, right? This was on a defense round. He sees someone, instantly runs away. Like, my guy, you can just stay there. You can. Even if you can't shoot back, you're still a body to shoot. You can't just be afraid. And him playing central just shoots this team in the foot. If he is, I don't think Brock was the right pickup for them. Again, it's just a greater issue of roster construction, but I really don't think the FNS playing Sentinel is the way.
yeah,
One thing I'm gonna mention is
sorry, you go.
that smoke on back plat. That's a I made this before Tejo exists, and I forgot he's being played in this match smoke. It's so easy with this character to just, if you do anything irregular, to just go like, oh, that looks weird, and just immediately molly it from across the map. And I think that would have been a really, really interesting smoke if Tejo didn't exist, right? It's so hard to clear with other util. But because this guy just is a free molly, they just go, oh, that's a weird smoke. Let me just put something there just in case he's there. And then he just gets ratted out. It's really sad. Another thing I was gonna mention is if you want to open Discord, I sent a link, and it will go more into what math material was
T-Dog
saying
one?
about roster construction. Yes,
You
this
want-
is
you want
very
the audio?
important. T-Dog the goat.
Rounds were
Yes,
won
audio is
by
super important.
multi-kills of hero moments. Energy's gonna do a push play
Alright.
pistol here. I want you
So,
to pay attention to Mada's camera specifically, okay?
yeah,
This is a part of
I'll
the
let you know when
game
you can pause.
that almost every single person who has played ranked even or has attempted to compete it or does compete, it's very difficult to master and maintain. Mada constantly getting first blooded over and over and over again. The guy had a 15-3 start to map 1. He's currently 5-12. He's in a playmaking position here. His team has choked playmaking positions 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s, this entire map. He gets put in a spot where he gets dinked through a wall, so his crosshair gets thrown out, and he isn't able to get the kill, and he is just fully, checked out at this point. Sometimes when you're doing that into the mic, sometimes when your teammates can see that, we're going to see some hero mentality come out from some of these players. And at the end of the day, they
I don't
know,
think I can lead the game
they
sometimes.
know they're getting
Yeah.
outclassed in terms of like the trades, in terms of the whatever it is, closing out rounds even, right? So that's when you really know that a team is kind of like grasping at straws
All right, you're good.
and they don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really quick, I just wanted to bring up something I have a problem with a lot of people trying to make rosters for tier 1 teams and kind of discussing roster moves is to really, and I am someone who does this often too, is you look at these players and you're just not thinking about anything besides, oh, this player can shoot, this player 1.32 rating in tier 2, this player 1.1 rating, that's higher than normal. There's so many intangibles to building a tier 1 team, and I think when you look at this team, I'm just not seeing a team that has the mentality to really come back from games like this. They don't have someone like Zelsis, they don't have someone like, I'm trying to think of other players, like even Boostio, where you're down, this guy doesn't care. He's happy, he's talking, he's making sure people are calming still, he's keeping the mentality up. And it's even harder when you have two players who just came from tier 2 in Brock and Mata. They don't know to not, get tilted, lean back in the chair and go, oh, after they whip a shot. And I think Sam's a hype player, but I don't think he's a hype player in man down situations. I don't think Ethan's a hype player. I don't think Finesse is a hype player. Mata, same thing as Sam. I don't think he's a hype player when you're down. And so this team really doesn't have anyone where if you're losing, they're going to make sure that there's an opportunity to come back. They're just all going to kind of get emo and the game's over. And I think that's a really big problem with NRG.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
say, sorry, I just want to say, I think their Revive guy used to be FNS, right? Like, especially
Yeah.
back in the Optic days, you could definitely see it. I remember the one clip of him versus Zekin where he's just shouting across the stage, bro, how are you missing that? You're 13, how are you missing that? And like, he used to be this hype guy, and like, he had all this, like, all this fanfare or whatever. And I feel like,
This
especially,
aura, man.
it's like because he's been on the decline more, like every game that he performs, like how he performs, he's just been losing more and more confidence, and like now he's just
Yeah.
like a shell of his former self, and like now they don't have anyone, right? Like it's just like they have no confidence in him, that's all I'm saying.
Emo squad.
Like even
That's
like,
where
like I want to say
yeah,
Ethan as
that's where
well.
Angel.
Ethan in
Yeah.
Ethan in 2023. I remember him like they're always talking about Ethan, like, yeah, like Ethan is like one of our main callers, he's like hyping up the team. And then now you see him in like the energy VOD and he's like in a hoodie and he's like closed up on himself, like you can tell he doesn't want to be
Yeah.
there. Like
They're a lot of fun, man.
it's just they have no hype.
It's
Yeah.
easy to get hype when you're winning. It's extremely hard to get hype when you're losing, and they have no one who can get hype when they're losing. I don't have any doubt that they can get hype when they're winning, but when they're losing, they just don't have anyone.
Yeah. I actually wanted to touch on this point with like one of the rosters, which is actually EDG. Because I mean, if you look at EDG, they've brought in two new rookies now. I mean, like they brought in Gianni and Simon, who are both very like quiet players in general. But then you have someone like Kang over there, always hyping them up. If you
Yeah.
look throughout the Champions run, EDG are always down a map, but they always can bring it back because they have someone there cheering for them to tell, oh yeah, we can do this. We we're not losing yet. It's only one map. We can practice our aim. And then if you look at the this NRG squad, I mean, if they lose a round, everything is just deflated. Everyone's quiet. Everyone's like looking nervous. They're not really calming to each other, and we can really see this when on like especially on to go back to that Haven where after every attacking round, you just saw the energy die faster and faster. It's
Yeah.
just you really I mean, I think that's an excellent point to talk about with bringing in Brock and not like a person who can really talk the roster into winning.
I also
When you talk about hype mates, there's always there's a bit of clutch factor behind them. Even if it's like Munchkin with Genji, right? Munchkin wasn't the best fragger, but he used to tell his team, you guys make the play you want. I'll clutch it in the end, even if it doesn't work out, right? Even if Munchkin wasn't able to clutch it, that confidence that he gave his team. FNS just can't do that. I don't think anyone on this team can do that. Just give that confidence. You guys can play more confidently. I'm here to, in case things go wrong, I can, put it back together. Like, no one in this team, has that X factor, I'd say. It
Yeah.
just feels very bland watching this team. It's a 2022 team.
I think 2022 is a very good way to put it because they have not leaned into the meta at all, right? And like the blame I think goes to a lot of different places for why that may be, right? Like if we
Mike's.
just look at their comps, right? They have not played Teo here. Like they played Teo one map. Um, like they only really play it on Lotus and Fracture, right? Um,
Yeah.
and like that's two maps out of the seven where Teo is such a good character, and especially Finesse was a very good breach. Like back, like he wasn't like very like very good for like a fragger, but he was a good breach. Like back in the day on Optic Day and even on NRG when he played breach, he was pretty good, right? Like, and that wouldn't require him to, or Teo even like that wouldn't require to aim as much. He's always pulled better when he's been on Initiator, right? He's always played better when he's been on Initiator. So I don't understand, right? Like I don't understand why you keep putting him on Sentinel. Is my thing, right? Like obviously you have Brock now who's an initiator, but when you didn't have it, like why didn't you go for finesse? What was it? Finesse Breacher Teo, Ethan Breacher Teo, and like obviously the blame, like maybe it goes to finesse, maybe it goes to Mike's, maybe they just didn't want it. But I think as well, this goes back on my Ethan Slander chain, it's known. He said at the beginning when Teo came out, he said, "Yeah, no, Teo is, he's not that good. Like, I don't really like Teo that much." And like, listen, I get it. You might not like him, but saying he's not that good and not playing him, that's two different things, right? Like, it's insane to me how a team like that has like FNS who's known as this Giga Brain guy, like they refuse to adapt to the meta, and like it's not like they haven't adapted to metas before, right? Like even in end of 2024 when the Finesse and Som came in, like, they came in for stage two, they adapted the Neon meta. 2023 they were running Harbor Viper like almost every map. 2022 they were like one of the ones defining the meta. At first in the beginning of the year with like Neon, and then like, they were going triple initiator, they were doing a bunch of different stuff, and like I don't know, like this, if they're gonna make a change for stage two, like which they probably will, let's be honest. Like I think maybe something has to go with the coaching. Like maybe they have to assign like another coach or like something. I don't know, because like
Mike sucks.
you expect their strats to be good, right? Like maybe if their fragging isn't good, they expect their strats to be good. Their strats have been shit, and
I actually have a theory.
yeah.
Bonka realized that energy is a shit show and decided to just leave.
Oh yeah,
That's
what was my I made a post like a while ago. I was like finesse masterclass. He realized that this roster was watched, so he decided to cut Verno by saying he had bad cons. What was it?
Let him go. Yeah, did everyone here read? I mean, this isn't literally in the same video I linked, but did everyone read what T-Dog had to say about the roster moves? Because he actually has some
This one.
insider info.
I heard a bit about that there was like a divide between three players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
go into it really quick. So I'll give a really quick overview. So from what I'm understanding, Bankar was extremely serious in prac. So he was just like, "You need to do this. We need to be perfect. We need to drill this." Um, and some of the players were just not vibing with it. From what I know about Bankar and a lot of European coaches, they're very strict. They don't take shit. You do this, you do it the way I want to do, or it's not going to work. They have their grand vision and they want it to work. And if the players don't buy into it, they don't feel a need to be there. And I think from what I know, from what T Dog said, uh, FNS, Sam, and Ethan were not vibing with it. And these are all established players. They've been on many teams before. They most likely have egos, whether they like to admit it or not, about the way they play. And they just didn't like the way Bonkar was coaching. And Bonkar most likely wanted to remove FNS. And Sam and Ethan went, "Hell no, you're not removing FNS." And then Bonkar went, "Okay, well, if you don't remove him, I'm leaving." And Verno's like, "Dude, my coach is leaving." Like, please,
Wait,
like, I
this is
want
actually
Bonkar to be on this team.
This is actually crazy. I'm sorry. I just went into
Yeah,
FNS stats
no,
and
you're
went to
good.
all time. His only positive agent is Omen. He has one game.
Yeah.
Sorry, go with that.
No, you're good. So you had 3 people beefing? Mato's probably just sitting there like, bro, I'm gonna end my life. Like, these people are just arguing all around me. Which is probably why he's super emo in all his interviews. And so, you know, you have 2 people beefing. You have Verno and Bonkar being like, dude, this guy's good. I've played with him before. Like, this guy's a goated coach. You know, Verno's is a golden child. And then you have not Mata, Ethan, FNS, and Som, who are just like, dude, kick this guy out. He's being way too aggressive in prac. And the org had to choose, and they chose removing a coach and 1 player rather than removing their entire core, which makes sense. It's a
Yeah,
really
I
bad
will
situation.
give the org some slack here because I think who was it? It was Victor that came out with a tweet. Let me try to find it. But
Yeah.
Victor came out with a tweet and he was basically praising the energy coaching staff uh for like how they helped him during the season. He was saying here it is. I'm seeing a ton of hate for energy as an organization, and just seems so weird from my perspective. From my 2 years there, they always deliver on their promises and go above and beyond to make the team comfortable. Some examples: we had an insane chef cooking breakfast and dinner, content staff trying their best to not let content time interfere with prep time. Um, right, like they go out of the way to help players deal with tedious stuff so they can focus on practice. Like they're not perfect, but I also had some complaints, but it was also very minimal, and they solved that immediately. And he says
Last line, yeah.
management aren't the one in the server, and then
And
you
read what
got
Chet
Chet
says.
agreed. Org was fine. They just need someone on site to see the issues up front that isn't a player or coach,
Yep.
right? And this to me just says like energy. Like I honestly feel bad for energy, like the org, because
Yeah.
right?
The organization has been pretty good.
Yeah, no. In
Yeah.
2023, they signed three of the like Finesse, who's a top 2 IGL in the world, right? Crashes is top 2 initiator in the world. Victor is like one of the best flexes. They signed Artist, who is like a top 3 chamber, right? And then they have Som, who's staying on the roster, and they signed Chet, who's like a top 2 coach in the world that year, right? And they
Yeah.
underperform massively, right? They expect like some sort of trophy win or at least like a finals finish or something like that. Nothing, right? Then they go into 2023 or 2024. They sign 2 world champions. They get Marv back, who was one of the best or like top 2 controller in the world back in 2022. They still have Victor and Crashes. They still have Chet, and they completely shit the bed. And Demon One leaves, and Mars as well gets cut, right? And then you bring back Finesse and Solon. You're like, okay, like you guys, like we made a mistake not keeping you guys. And then they lose 12-5 to C9 to miss playoffs in stage 2. And then you bring in the top 2, and I will say this at the time, Verno and Mata were the 2 best prospects in NA.
Yep.
And they get them. They somehow managed to get both of them. And they're like, okay, this is all coming together. We had Ethan, world champ, got Finesse, one of the best IGLs, Song,
And they had
amazing sports
Bonker.
player, and Bonker, right, who was, Oxygen, that maybe they didn't go to Ascension. They were super close, and, some people blame Dapper. But,
Cough.
yeah,
Coach
no,
now.
but yeah. So you're like, yeah, this is good. And then Verno immediately cut for the season or after kickoff because of calm issues. And it's like, you got to feel bad for the org, man. Like, they're really trying to win, right? It's not like other orgs like EG or whatever where like they keep their players in contract jail, It's not like Furia where they just keep recycling old players. Like, they're genuinely like trying to pick up the best players, try to win. And it's just not been working out for them,
Yeah, one more really, really, really quick point because we've been on energy for a long time.
Yeah.
Mike's has been comp trolling since 100 Thieves, and if you look at Brock right before he joined NRG and Challengers, the last 3 maps he played on Tejo, 16-11, 21-16, 28-18. Bro, please, I'm begging. I'm on my hands and knees, like that SpongeBob gif where he's just begging on the floor. Please, bro, put Brock on Tejo. Everyone plays Tejo. Just put him on Tejo. It's so sad. Please. I don't get it, man. I don't get why they'd add mics over anyone. I don't know, dude.
Bro, I'm
That's all I
just
gotta say.
saying. I'm just saying.
They
Oh,
added the yes man. I don't know what to say.
how
I
he
also just
spells
want to
that.
mention Bonka to Loud maybe. Since
I'm
Loud
just
is looking for a
saying.
coach now.
My goat,
Maybe.
my goat is
Matthew
he's
C.
he's
Elmore.
going through college, but you could pay for his college energy, you know. Get him back in T1, man. I miss him so much. He was a goat, man, like actor. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think
So
we
true.
spent enough time on
On
energy.
energy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's move on to today's games, and we got G2C9.
I mean, this one was just very surprising because it was a wash on both sides and then a very close series on Pro. I think this is like one of those cases where you can see teams be very prepared on their I just want to quickly check. I'm not bullshitting. I want to see who picked which map now.
They won on
Um,
each other maps. They destroyed each other
they
on
won
the
on each other
public
maps.
map.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes my narrative. Well, I mean, they just looked. I guess they just were super prepped on the opponent's map because they all
I mean,
looked
it is an odd
really.
map pick, right? Why
I
would
mean,
Yeah.
Cloud9
you
pick
can't
an
say
Icebox?
that about Icebox because or never mind,
You would
Go
favor
ahead.
G2 Esports on that map, right? Like, Cloud9 is
Yeah.
not a good Icebox team. Haven, yeah,
Um,
maybe. I can see G2 picking Haven, but clearly they've been exposed on Haven, right? I guess this brings up another issue with
yeah.
G2. Again, they need to strengthen
Yeah.
the map pool
This
a
like
bit.
reinforces my point that I made before, where like they're running Yoro on some maps where Yoro doesn't work as well as like a solo duelist. Like before it was Fracture, and now it's like Haven where they're losing as well. And I feel like I hope this like makes them learn, like maybe lean into. I mean, you have Leaf, amazing duelist player if you want to run double duelist, Um,
Yeah.
like even like if you just want to run single duelist, you could run Jajimo Neon. He's amazing on Neon. You could run Jet on Haven. Uh, yeah.
So I just want to mention on Haven, what's his name, Oxy. It was just nice to see him have a really good game, or at least a really good map. He was just aim deafening everyone. I really wanted I just love to see that.
Yeah, I will say though, I saw a post. I forget what it said exactly, but it was like Oxy finally has good teammates, and he just underperforms. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
He could have
I mean,
one for if a few pistols went the other way. Like G2 won both pistols, right? So Cloud9 could have won that.
Yeah. I will say though, it was a treat to see G2 back on Icebox. They haven't played at all this stage, right? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
They played it.
Or did they?
Not even once.
Yeah, they haven't played it once, and I don't think they played it before, did they? Or
no,
Icebox
not
wasn't in the pool
much.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but in 2024 they were actually very good on Icebox, right? I think it was almost was it this exact? No, it was instead of Tejo, I think it was Trent on the solo. They had Icy on
Yep.
Gecko, was
They
it?
didn't have a duelist, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see on
And they
Gecko,
were very
Trent
good
and
on
Solo.
Icebox in 24. So I'm glad they're pointing it out now because now that their Fracture got exposed and their Haven got mega exposed, I feel like they need more maps to rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, GC have always been like a weak Haven team. We've known that for like quite a bit, right? It was like there was like not their pervert ban in Bangkok. They didn't really have one, but like even in Bangkok, they were pretty weak on that map and banned it usually at least second. So I think overall, I mean, even like I think that um overall, I think G2 do have a pretty decent map pool overall, but I think that if they want to be like one of the top teams in like internationally, they do have to improve it, like you guys said.
I mean, it's good, right? They're being exposed when they need to be.
Yeah.
They can go back to the drawing board, see why it didn't work. It's
Yeah.
actually good for G2. The more losses they take, Josh Hardy's an excellent coach. I think he will figure out the weaknesses. They should be a really strong contender if they make it to Toronto.
Oh yeah. Also, when we're talking about NRG, just to go back to that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, look at the 2022 NRG roster, man. That roster was stacked.
Bro, the 2022 roster, what was it? It was EU, Hazed,
EU, Hayes, Song,
North America.
Tex, and this one more guy. I
This
forgot
one?
his name.
No. Right. The only way I can ever find old events is like I have to remember a player. Like let me go back to
Yeah.
Shroud when he played in NALC
Looking for
here.
2022.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
2022. Hayes, EU, Tech, Son, Ethan.
That is a
Like that's a
stacked roster.
stacked
That is
Josh
a
roster.
Artias too.
roster.
And Josh RT as the coach too. You know, like I mean, some of these teams were stacked back in the day. Like there are a lot of teams like that. I mean, I still don't know how their guard like didn't make it. Like 100 Thieves, like Sean Garris. Listen, Sean,
The
I know
articles
you're taking a
showcase.
break because you got a kid or whatever. Or like you stop being coach because you got a kid. But like, let's be honest here. 100 Thieves need you more than that kid. Okay? Like, please, please, I miss you, man. But anyway,
Something I'm gonna
um,
really quickly mention
yeah,
about picks and bans for G2 versus C9 is a lot of people fail to realize that you get 5 bans and you get 1 pick. Or sorry, you get 2 bans and 1 pick.
yeah,
So a lot of the time, it's not only about the map you pick, it's about the maps you ban. And sometimes you're banning your worst map and you're praying they don't pick a map that you're bad on. And sometimes, your map pool overlaps and you just have a good counter strat. There's a lot more that goes into pick and bans than people think. And I think sometimes losing your map pick and winning their map pick isn't just like, oh, this is weird, this shouldn't happen. It's just like that's how it worked because you guys were focused more on banning maps that you think you'll play bad on rather than playing to your strengths.
anyway,
It's a pretty complicated thing. Banning
Okay.
maps, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
It's a crazy
a
mental
lot
game
more
of
teams
people.
need to focus on that. If we just go historically, how nobody bans split against Sen and nobody banned Fracture against EG or Lotus against Fnatic.
Vacant Lotus.
Yeah,
Binding on 100 Thieves.
I mean,
yeah.
against EDG, nobody banned Sunset and Lotus, which is like their maps that they went flawless on. Is
Yeah.
crazy.
Teams just need to get better at adapting, I think, for mapping. So I think, I don't
Yeah.
know. Because I'm not there, obviously, so I don't know, but I think, like, there's definitely, like, at least, like, not as much thought put into what maps they're going to play, like, as secondary.
Let's talk about the final game on the
Yeah, like
right?
you look at Leviathan, bro, who banned like there was like Ascent and like I forgot what was the map against a TE.
Oh, Trace,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
they-
at Champs 23 or 24? Champs 24.
Yeah,
saw-
20.
and
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
saw
God.
Vitality lose as well. Like
Oh
they
my
were
they saw
Leviathan.
Vitality lose and they picked Ascent anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and by the way, in China,
I think Trace had a
Trace did not.
flawless record on
Yeah,
Ascent.
in
And they
China,
had the
Trace had a
choice between.
flawless record on Ascent throughout the entire year, and then they did not lose Ascent more. Never went double digits on Ascent against like the opponent, right? So they 13-9 people maximum, and it's like they pick flipping Ascent instead of like I forgot what map it was. And it was like it was just a
Instead
horrible
of
decision, man.
Abyss. And I just want to
Instead
say,
of Abyss,
I don't know what the fuck they were cooking because their Abyss was really good at Champs, you know?
yeah, and T had like, one of the worst Abysses in the champs. Oh my gosh,
Yeah. It was, yeah, no, see, like, this is, like, some coaches need to work more on that. What was
Yeah.
I forget who said it was Artist, right? Who was like, yeah, bro, if you, half these coaches, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, bro. You know, something like that. But
I was
anyway,
gonna say, Lev
yeah.
picked Ascent, and Kai just started rubbing his hands together deviously. Bro's like, "You picked Ascent, eh?" He is ready.
Yeah. Anyway,
Alright.
moving on
Do
to
you have much
to
to
the
say about
last
this
game
game?
that happened.
A surprising one,
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, a
Yeah,
bit.
Furia from the
It
second map
was
did good out.
bit close, yeah. Furia,
I
they
mean,
turned into
Furia-
from a one map team to a two map team. So
Yeah.
that they're moving up there. Give it another month, they might become a 3 map team.
Holy moly! Be
And
careful
then
now.
we really start cooking there. Once they get 3 maps, that they might become a D tier
Yeah.
team instead of an F tier team.
You should all make predictions what their third map will be.
It's gonna be some shit that like nobody ever
Haven.
picks. Haven? No, it's not gonna be
Oh,
Haven.
you know
Haven
what?
is too
No,
technical.
no. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring
you're
back
right.
like,
It's
gonna
gonna be
be-
Sunset. I have a feeling it'll be
oh my
Sunset.
gosh, they're gonna bring
Oh,
back
yeah.
Breeze. They're gonna bring back Breeze and Fury.
Oh,
They're not
dude,
bringing back
Fury's
Breeze,
gonna
right?
fry on Breeze.
They're gonna
Whenever
bring
I
back
think
Breeze for
of Breeze, I think
Trends.
of Havoc going 1 in 20.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
Jesus,
I watched that live.
Anyway,
yeah.
first map 13-3. You know, expected. You know, we got to see Aspas. You know, just expected result. I would think for shooting the bet, and then we get into the
I mean,
real.
this game was MIBR. I mean, I just want to say MIBR on, I would say, on the defensive halves. I mean, no, it's not defensive. Sorry, I'm like talking my ass. On a sense, overall, I think I'm pretty sure that they've been looking pretty, like not awful, but they haven't been looking that great. I mean, I think that is probably a weak spot for them. I'm looking at. I mean, okay. I've got like a pool of two,
They've only
but
played
like
it once, and it was against
against
G2. They
this
lost
G2.
13-8.
But even then, I would say like there are a sense like these two matches they've played from what I've seen. Like I haven't watched this full pod by the way. I've only watched like a bit of it, but it's a bit that I feel like they're a bit lost, especially on the attacking
No, I
half.
agree with you. Even on
Um,
defense side, I agree with you there.
yeah, sorry, the defend half. Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
it's just I I don't really understand like what they're really trying to do. Like
They just they're taking scrappy fights in like A main and B main, trying to stop them, but it just doesn't work. They get overloaded by util, and once the spike is down, Heat was just insane. Like once the spike was down, Heat would just win the map for you. So it
yeah,
was more of just get the spike down and Heat will win us the round.
yeah. But overall, I mean, I was surprised Fear came anything close to winning a map than Lotus, but you know
And they almost we were here, you know,
they were,
and
they were
we
decent
were
on split.
here,
Yeah, they were.
and I was making bets already. I was like, you know, if Furia win, you know, like like there was some hope, honestly, right? You know, seven
Yeah,
five,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're going on
You win the pistol.
yeah, they won the pistol, and then it was all downhill from there. It
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
it was not
But
good for them.
any hope for this roster in general for Fury?
Uh,
Or
No.
yeah, if
Big
Artisan comes
Rafa.
back, no. If Artisan comes back and he switches to Sentinels, no, not Artisan, but MW Zero, yeah.
Bro, MW
MW
Zero, I
Zero
do
comes
not want
back.
him back. I do not want him back at all. I
No,
don't
no, no.
care if
If he
he's
switches
used
to
himself.
Sentinel, listen, MW Zera is probably the greatest teammate in Brazil I've ever seen. Let him play Sentinel. His initiative was ass. He can play KO for you. Let Heat play KO and Breach for you, or
Bro,
any other flash
do
agent, and
we
let
need to pull
MW
up
Zera play
the
Sentinel.
MW Zero Silva stats?
I'm asking you to play. I'm saying the guy should play Sentinel. Let MW Zera play Sentinel. Heat can play the flash initiative, like he did for Crew. And then
Are you
I
talking
see
about
this roster
MW
playing
Zero or
really well.
Heat?
I'm talking about MW Zera and Heat switching roles.
Oh, I see.
Oh, actually, I wouldn't even mind that. Actually,
Yeah, I
that might
wouldn't
be
mind that.
interesting.
I just want to see Heat back on like role where he's actually good at. 'Cause he was so good last year. Like so good. Like I think people are forgetting
Yeah, he
how good he
was.
was. He was if we just look
Dude,
at
yeah, he was
here,
disgusting.
wait,
I feel so bad for him, dude.
yeah, no, it was
I
he
believe I believe
the
I needed like
way
a top
he
20
left
players for like
through
champs. Oh,
too, like I just want to go
Yeah,
like
go to stage 1
he
and
was
stage 2.
he was fucked off that roster. I'm not gonna lie. Because they cut
I think
him.
stage 1 he played mid and stage 2 he played
No,
oh, even
crazy.
stage
stage
one he
one, it's
was
Oh
crazy.
no,
yeah.
stage 1 he went crazy and
And
stage 2
then
he played
stage
mid.
two
My bad.
he didn't play that good. Or like he played
Yeah.
good, but like he didn't play as good. But
Yeah.
like in the off season,
That's
right?
what's
They
making
cut
so.
him because they thought they were getting Sadak. And you're like, fair enough, you know. Sadak is him, you know, he's like, you know, like one of the best IGLs ever. And then Sadak goes to KC and it's like, well, you can't get him back now.
Hey, real quick, you
Where is
notice
he?
something? Scroll up really quick. You see who's up there? Second best Brazilian player, Khalil. I never want to hear anyone say Nepo pick again. If you go
Bro, he
through
has
every tournament,
one good he has one
no, no,
good
no,
tournament
no,
every five
no, no, no,
years,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no. Go through Furia's tournament history and look at their stats. He's legitimately been like second or third best player every tournament they've ever played in. There's no reason to kick him. He has never been one of their worst players. He's
That's
consistently been like decent performer.
0.87 rating. What a god.
Yeah, no,
What
no.
a
But
god.
look at the ratings of the rest of the teammates.
Well, yeah, no, we're saying not keep them. I'm saying keep Heat, cut everyone else.
No, I think Khalil's fine.
Bro, like it doesn't matter if all your teammates are also like shittier than you. If you're shit, I don't want you on my team, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm
To be,
saying
he
like,
had a decent kickoff.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
no,
a
no, no,
pretty
no, no,
decent
no.
You know?
kickoff.
Just keep going. Just keep
Okay,
going.
okay.
Keep going. I'm
Let's
so
keep
serious,
going.
dude. He is not an
Stage
Nepo
2.
pick.
Oh, we just went to
We would have
stage
to
2.
speed run
Yep,
it.
that's the one you just did. Go to stage 1.
Stage 1. Why don't?
Okay, now look at the rest of the team.
Bro, look at the rest of the team, bro. Like, if he's shit, I don't
Yeah.
want it. Here, NZR
Yeah.
is better than him.
Yep.
As the IGL, by the way.
And then it's Khalil, and then it's
And
Mozilla,
W0,
and Havoc, and Conan.
Oh,
Oh yeah, but Conan was awful,
yeah,
bro. Oh my
Conan
god,
was.
I
was
remember
I
really bad.
think.
Conan.
I think Conan is worse than New Zero, bro. I think Conan
By the
might be
way,
worse than New
I
Zero.
remember correctly, that was his like second worst season ever. I'm pretty sure he went over a 1.0 for the rest of the.
Let's see. Conan was better than him. Conan performed better than him, bro.
Whoa.
How many maps was that? 90
Uh,
rounds. Yeah.
just while we're here, by the way, while we're here, uh, while we're here,
I
No.
might as well.
greatest debut of all time.
Oh, I remember everyone was just like waiting for him to get a kill on that map.
That's the only map they played in LCQ.
Fury MW Zera, my go. Ditches in Conan, and look at this.
fun.
Look at this. Look at this. Look who's above him. Wow.
It's one map. Keep going.
I think
where are
I think
we?
overall,
Americas.
I mean, from what I see, I think overall, Khalil's like, he's not.
Yeah, no, I don't
great,
think he's the worst on
He-
the. Okay, yeah, he's
I
the
think he's a
highest rated
solid
player
player.
for America's 23.
he's like,
Like, I don't think
mean,
he's a horrible
Furia-
player, but I think just
Okay.
Furia in general is trash.
So is he a Nepo pick?
No,
I don't
I never
think
thought
so.
he was
Okay,
a
there you
Nepo pick, but I
Okay,
just think.
that's all I care about.
Alright, let's just move on from this. Let's do predictions now.
Yeah, let's just see where. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, we've gone off a
Let's move
tangent.
on.
Anyways,
One more thing.
where?
I'm gonna quickly point out Rafa stats. Tejo 0.56. KO
Oh no, Rafa is
0.49.
shit. Rafa, you need to get that guy out of here.
0.82
I've been a
on
Rafa
the
hater
breach.
since day one, bro.
Dude, he's so bad.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it. Predictions time.
Send to G.
Yes. Oh. Alright, I don't know what to do
Me.
here. Let me put this over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're back.
Yeah,
to the
we're
MSI
back.
page.
We're back. Okay. For our first
I think you can pick
matchup.
for us, right?
Huh?
You can pick for us.
What do you mean?
Yeah, pick for us. Here they go. Let's go, Hades.
Yeah, pick for us.
Okay. We
Okay,
got.
bro, just copy paste the picture, bro.
Bro, I'm not copying and pasting. That's too much work. Okay, here we go. And then,
Oh,
Right. Drawing it from scratch is less work.
That's
Okay.
team.
wait. Oh, no, bro.
easy, bro.
I did it twice. I did it while we were talking about it before too. I forgot who I was talking it with. I think it was Mathis here. Bro, how do I make this
You
bigger?
got this.
How do
Okay,
I...
hold up. I
Wait,
can
wait.
make it. I can make it so much. Okay,
Oh.
no.
Oh.
Rest in
Wait.
peace.
Okay.
Wait, hold up.
It's a purple G.
2G,
That's
2G.
Oh wait, that's not their
Yeah.
logo. What the fuck's their logo, bro? They keep
It's
changing
a
their
2
logo.
and
How am I
G
supposed to
version.
Oh
remember
my
this?
god.
Okay.
Do you need me to send you
Okay,
the cropped
okay.
pictures?
I got it.
You know what? That's actually. Well, yeah. No, I'm not gonna say anything.
Bro, what did I say? What did I say? Like, what was the last time that I said it? I'm like the Moniac song. I'm the Monet. Okay.
Yeah, the Monet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
abstract.
Hades. I'm going here.
Whoa, pal! Don't put me with the rest of you. I'm
Oh,
joking.
don't.
No. I'm joking, bro. Please.
Bro, I mean, I could see it maybe. Like, if Sun underperform, like they're due for an underperformance. I'm just gonna shorten your
Dude,
name to Math.
listen. You know what? I haven't been on an America's episode yet. Put me under 2G. This is the only points I'm gonna get. You know what? This is my prediction.
I mean, I could actually maybe
narrate-
see it.
You know, Rafa or fucking not Rafa. Who's the worst player
But-
on that team?
On 2G?
Silence. Yeah, Silence.
Silence is not the worst
Silence-
player, bro. Silence
I'm pretty
is
sure
good.
he is. No?
Honestly, good. No,
I'm
it's
pretty sure he's been shitting the bed, dude. I'm
they-
pretty sure
They're all
Silence
shit,
has
Go
been
bro.
shitting the
Baron?
bed.
It's not that deep. They're all shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no, they're
Silence has
all
been ultra
shit.
shitting the bed.
Yeah, no, they're all good. But yeah, they
Okay.
all wake up. They all play insane. Sen narrate has a mental breakdown on stage.
No,
You
no,
know?
no. Yeah. So Silence is gonna just run it down, one tap narrate 3 times. Narrate's gonna slam his desk, break his mouse, fail to report it to TOs, and then he's gonna go like 0.56 through the series. And Silence is gonna be shouting across the stage the entire game, tilting the team, and 2T's gonna run away with it. And they're gonna win 13-8, 13-9. Boom. Done.
Boom. I
That
mean,
looks like the Mojang
I give
logo.
this like a maybe like an 80-20. I could see an 80-20.
I see
Yeah,
I
an
could,
80-20.
yeah, I could see an 80-20 genuinely.
But I was
I
gonna
think
say,
2G's overhated.
if Sen win this, this is a very important game for Sen. If Sen win this, they become first seed in the group.
No, not
Unless
necessarily.
Crew
No,
beats,
no, 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 no.
unless Crew beats 100T.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need
If
Crew to
I-
lose to 100 Thieves.
They need the Crews to lose 100T. They need to win this game and they become first seed. Because even if 100T get the win, they have the head-to-head
Cryo
advantage.
cells, do your job for your boy Zekin. That's all I gotta say.
You know what?
please.
Let's talk about Crew versus 100 Thieves then.
Yeah,
Bro,
let's
I
go
need
straight into
Crew to
that.
make the event, man. Crew, it's been too long since we've seen Crew at like an event that's not champs.
I
you
want
know what,
Crew to quality.
Have they ever made an event
Yeah,
that's not
bro. Back
champions?
in 2022, they made every single event.
No, no, they
Yeah, they
did
did.
Masters.
I think
I
they
don't
just
even
made
They got
runs.
grouped in
Bro,
they
it's
got
like-
grouped in every one of them, but you know they did make it.
It
They've
was like
always
so
been
long
good.
ago and I do not remember.
I know, because remember in
Oh,
Copenhagen they beat
yes, now I
Loud.
remember.
They beat Loud and
They-
then
they-
Loud got eliminated by Optic because
Yes,
Optic
Oh,
lost
yes,
to the
yes.
guild.
Right.
They beat-
Yeah, they made Reykjavik
beat-
and Copenhagen and
Yeah,
champs.
they beat Loud. They lost to Guild and
And then they lost to Optic.
Optic, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in Reykjavik they just lost to Liquid Optic, and then in champs they lost FPX, beat Sertia, and then lost FPX again, which is extremely unlucky.
Yeah, I remember
And then,
that
yeah, they only
that-
qualified 2023
that group
champs.
stage where XSET beat FPX. That was crazy. The FPX
dude.
XSET rival that event was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. With like the turret bug.
Oh, is it the
I-
third bug?
Don't bring exit, bro. You don't bring up exit for me. You're gonna make me sad. I miss him.
G2 Carlos, man. If you didn't party with Tate, we would be
That's a pretty
seeing.
good logo.
Yeah, dude, that was actually. So
Oh, I just
good.
realized
I'm
this is a
proud of you.
smiley face. I know it's like supposed to be like
It is
what's
a
it called,
smiley.
but like
It's
Um,
well, I mean, sure.
I have no clue what it's supposed
it's
to
supposed to be like the
That's
accent
not-
or whatever.
Yeah, it's the U in the actual name crew is accented. So their
Okay.
logo also has the accent.
So
Wow,
let's-
that 100 Thieves logo is also not even that bad.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
know.
proud of you, man.
I'm
We're getting
artiste.
better.
What's his name? Pablo Escobar or Picasso. Picasso.
Pablo Escobar.
Okay. So Revoke. Who you got here?
Who do I have here? Put me for 100 Thieves. Fuck it.
Why?
You know what? Actually, because if Dryad's right, if Crew's tilted, if they don't get over it, I think 100 Thieves has a chance to win. Also, I think I think someone brought up that EG counters Crew really easily. And I think part of that is just they're really cringe. EG just plays really cringe. And I also think 100 Thieves plays really cringe. In the sense that they're just very like turtly on defense. And then on attack, they just kind of have some dude who just nukes. And I think EG has that as well. And,
I see a similar playstyle between the teams though.
yeah, and so I'm
That-
just like, dude, if Cryo does well, it's GG's.
Put me on Crew. I think I see them like as a two very similar, brawly type teams, and I think Crew will come out on top.
That's fair.
I think Kesnet is going to take Cryos' lunch money.
Whoa,
uh,
whoa,
Put me on for 100T.
wow.
I think 100T they've been playing pretty well. I've liked their strats. I really like how Cry is looking, and I just really want to fault Crew for losing against EG.
Cryo, by the way,
Yeah.
is the best player in the league by .11 rating. That dude's the
Pretty
GOAT.
sure
He
isn't he like
baits.
the highest he's the highest rated in every region, no? Or something like that.
No.
No, that's
Yeah.
Zeus from.
No,
I
I don't
remember
think
some
he is.
strat. I remember like seeing somewhere that like he's like the highest something out of every player in
I
any
mean,
region.
technically Smoggy's higher at 1.42, but I don't think that's counting
Yeah, no,
every
I don't
game.
think the China ones are updated. So
Yeah,
If we don't count China, then yes, he is by like quite a bit. The next closest is Foxy,
yeah,
and Pacific
result
at
of
a
playing in the
1.32.
worst region. Am I right, guys?
Yeah. If
Yeah.
we count players who've played every match, then the next closest is hold up. Mini Boo actually at 1.27.
Vigo's been
Wow.
going to the standard stage.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
really happy for Mini Boo. I was a
yeah.
massive hater, but he stepped it up.
Yeah. Okay, and then for me, I'm gonna go Crew. I think it's like opposite of like what you guys said that Crew is tilted. Like I feel like they're gonna put like the most effort into this game, and like they're gonna be awake. And there's a bit of a rivalry here as well. Last time in stage one, 100 Thieves beat Crew. In like the very last game of the stage in the split, I think. Right? I don't know. I believe in Crew to bounce back. I think the EG game is a clear like lack of like none of their players were online. You know, like their strats aren't that good. But I think they're definitely gonna practice. I think they're the type of the team with enough mental resilience to bounce back from that. And I think 100 Thieves, while they have been good, their strats haven't wowed me, and I think there are definitely some weaknesses Crew can pick up on, especially with Mr. Asuna, who tends to overheat. But yeah, no, this is gonna be, I think, a banger matchup. I hope this goes 2-1. Um, yeah. I hope all the players are online so we can see like a really good matchup.
Yeah, something I'm gonna really quickly mention is being angry going into a match is such a crazy double-edged sword because either you go up 3-0 and you just snowball and you're like, fuck these guys, like we're better than them, you know, we're gonna screw them, and you just snowball out, or you lose the first 3 rounds and you're like, dude, we prepped, like what the fuck is going on? Like you're already tilted from last match. So I think it really depends on how the first map goes. I genuinely
Yeah,
think if 100 Thieves wins the first map convincingly, it'll be a 2-0. Otherwise, I think it'll be a really good series.
yeah. I hope for a good series. But yeah.
Me too.
Okay, so it's EG versus Loudnex.
UG versus
This is
Loud.
gonna be a crazy game. I'm not even gonna
I
lie. I
want,
actually, oof.
I want DGZ to wake up for this one game and absolutely destroy the fuck out of Loud.
I mean, he's been
really
awake.
geniuses.
He's been awake, but like he's just
No, I just
not like
want him to
a
like channel that form, just become the fucking goat, I guess.
Super Saiyan, dude.
Yeah.
I would draw this like tilted like this. Something like that. I don't know. That's good enough.
Don't draw
Good,
it tilted. Just draw it flat. It's so much easier, dude.
It was cooking until
It was flat for so long, and then they made it tilted, and it's
Yeah,
extraordinarily ugly.
no, I don't like the flat one. I like their old logo like back in like 20. It's like this, right?
I agree.
And then like it's like kind of like this, and then
yeah, it was
Yeah,
something
that's
like
actually
that.
pretty
Yeah.
fucking good. Yeah, and just draw like a circle around it, and you're fucking good.
boom.
Yeah, good enough. That's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
fire.
let's
Okay.
hear the argument. Let's hear the argument for either of these
No,
teams.
wait. Okay, so guys, we all put Loud number 2 in our power ranking, right? So we're
Fuck so.
so we're all gonna friend Loud here, right?
I'm genuinely putting loud.
Wait, don't put me Loud. Wait, I'm not genuine. Get me out of there. Get me out of there.
Put me loud. I'm serious. Put me loud. I actually think Loud's gonna win this. I think Luxo's just like so good, and I think if you look at their previous matches when they had Luxo versus Not, they've had
Wait, I
really close games versus 100 Thieves and Sen, and I think EG is significantly worse than both. So I don't see why they couldn't pull this out.
Yeah.
wait. Does this
Nats,
game
what's your
matter in
argument for
any way?
EG?
Wait. I just want to know. Does this game matter in any way?
No.
Nope.
EG
Oh
are
wait, no,
locked
it
in
does.
fourth
If
regardless. Or
Yeah,
for
no,
no,
champs
if
points,
EG's
for
fucking pro.
champs points,
no,
which
I'm saying
actually do
if
matter this
crew
year.
if crew lose and EG win, don't EG have the head-to-head advantage and get third?
No. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
yeah, they could get third seed, maybe. Wait, if 100 Thieves and Sen both wait, no, that's not possible. I was gonna say if 100 Thieves and Sen loses and Crew loses, but it's not possible because 100 Thieves plays Crew. But
No,
yeah,
no, no,
no.
no.
No, I was hoping for like a 4-way tie. That's not possible. We could get a 3-way tie.
We can get. Oh yeah. Then it goes to math.
But then, yeah, if it's a 3-way tie,
No,
Oh,
we
I'm
can't.
going for
No, we can't. No, we can't.
I'm going for love.
yeah,
It'd
Oh,
be
we
can
could get a
go.
3-way tie.
it'd be
It's
100
then
thieves. No, it'd be 100 thieves is 4-1 because they beat crew. Sentinels would be 4-1 because they beat 2G. Crew would be
No,
3-2
but
because they lose to
we're
100
saying if
thieves.
2G and crew win. If 2G and crew win, oh no, but Sen would have the head on both of them, so they would just
Oh
yeah. It
yeah,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
yeah.
because in 3-way tie, it's if one team has won against two of the other teams, then that team goes in second, like goes in first.
oh,
So
is that how that works? I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
know.
So it goes
No.
head to head first. If one team has beaten two of the other teams, then that team is like the first one out, and then it like head to head between those two teams. That's
Okay,
why, like,
I
if you
see.
remember in China when it was 3 head to head, the reason it wasn't like that is because each of the teams had beaten one of the other teams and lost to another team.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so what's your
Anyways,
argument for
that's
EG?
my argument for. I mean, EG they played a super good game against Crew last time. No, I thought they had a pretty decent strat. I thought that they have a very good chance of improving every week. While I look at Loud, I'm not confident in their coaching staff. I don't know what's happening there. But assuming they have the same, I don't think Loud are going to improve that much. I think that their IGL situation is still a bit dodgy. Their strats don't look that good, and they're gonna have to rely a lot on just fragging out, which I don't think will be. I think that it will bring up a decent chance, right? Because I think if you look at the level, I think the Loud have better players if you're looking at at their peaks. But I was saying for like consistency sakes, I would say that EG have been looking really nice. I think Superman has been playing super well. So yeah, I would favor EG here because their macro just looks much better than Loud's, and I have no idea how the coaching is gonna go.
Math material. What do you think?
I believe in DJs, and that's all I want to say.
You believe in Wishy? Sorry.
I believe in DJs, and that's all.
DJ
I just
Fizz.
want, yeah.
Okay. I think this is definitely a close matchup. I feel like on paper, EG have been underperforming and or like not underperforming. I would say like they haven't looked that good, and then this last game they really overperformed. Whereas Loud they've been on a downward trajectory, but their players and individuals have still looked good. Um, and they have gotten rid of their
Loud
coach.
downwards is crazy.
What do you mean down? They've
You
lost
you
like
said
every
Loud
game.
has been downwards, bro. Yeah. They lost to 2G, and then they went 1-2 versus 100 Thieves, which is a pretty shit team. Or at least
I mean,
middle of the pack. And then they went 1-2 versus Sun, which is like one of the better teams.
No, I
Like,
mean
if
but
like
anything, I feel like they've been on the upwards.
yeah,
I think he's comparing to like kickoff because in kickoff
yeah, yeah.
they
No,
beat
I
Crew and they
guess,
beat
yeah.
Yeah,
EG.
yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
saying like in general, they have been worse than average, right? Like that,
Yeah.
and like it's gonna be like it's kind of what you believe more. Do you think EG are gonna keep up this form, or Loud they're gonna step it up? And I do think Loud, like we don't know for sure, but I do think SDTA is probably gone because I don't think they would like leak that the coach is gonna be gone if like and then have him play like the next match. You know, they do that'd be insane. But I don't know. I feel like there's always this thing whenever a team that's like been losing a lot, but they have good players, they like get rid of their coach, and they suddenly perform way better. You know what I mean? Like it happened with Leb, it happened with Fnatic, like 11 and 20, say 11-24 Fnatic this year with Buddy, and like I could definitely see Loud like just like it doesn't matter for them. This game doesn't matter, but just like throwing it in and like they play better because it doesn't matter. They have less pressure. I think EG. I just don't believe they're going to be that consistent. I don't believe Superman is going to go 20 and 5 again on Lotus. Like I don't see that happening. I would love to have faith in EG because I'm a big EG fan, but I can't have faith right now. I need to see more consistency from them. You know, if I'm going to go Loud here.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, and now for the match of the week,
Banger alert.
match of the split, really. Um,
After you draw the logos, I'm putting in my prediction. I'm not going to explain why, and then I'm going to walk away and go pee.
okay. Fuck, how do I draw the dragon, bro?
Dude, honestly, you got this, bro.
We're gonna do something like this. That's good.
Dude, just draw
Wait.
like a couple spikes. Draw a couple spikes at the top. I'm so serious.
Throw the
It'll
horns.
actually
Throw the
work.
horns. Yeah.
Dude, that's not even that bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Wait, that's
Okay.
not even that bad, bro.
You know, when
Okay.
I first saw the
Thanks.
Love logo, I thought it was like the world, like the water in the world, like your globe, you know?
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
holy moly. Considering the fucking roster they picked up, I wouldn't be surprised. Fucking fraudulent
They
Latin
should be
American team.
the fucking global esports, you know?
Dude, they have a
I'm saying.
fucking at one point they had a Chilean, a fucking Russian, a fucking
German.
German, a fucking Frenchy dude. Their fucking coach is from Bulgaria. Like other guys
Yeah.
from Denmark. They have a dude from Colombia. I don't know what's going on with that roster group.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
pick
go
up some
Pete.
Chinese dude and they're good to go.
You can go
Whoa,
Pete.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa,
whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa.
whoa, whoa.
Move me over. Thank you, and I'm going pee. Goodbye.
What?
What?
You
No
can't just
explanation.
leave after
NRG.
that. Uh, I thought he was like, yeah, crew, you know? Like, no explanation, you know? I'm just gonna. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible. You can't even.
I'm bad. I think I missed out on something.
You missed
Yeah, you missed
revoke
out on
for
revoke
predicting
voting
NRG.
and just leaving.
Uh, oh wow, that is. Well,
I'm
I would
gonna.
Leviathan if.
Yeah, so you can stick me back to Leviathan over here.
Yeah, we're gonna. Math material. Are you gonna? Do I need to move you over
No,
as well?
I'm not gonna stick with Leviathan.
Yeah.
It's,
I
it's
mean,
Um. While we wait for him, let's take a look at the Lev logo real quick.
like
Oh,
you guys should see what
looks
I'm
like a
cooking up in your Discord for Pacific. You know, I'm saving you the trouble.
oh my gosh, I do see you cooking up right now.
Hi
Why
guys,
is
I'm
You
it?
guys,
back.
You're back. Explain yourself. Explain yourself.
I think Lev is genuinely very bad. I think they're way like worse than people think. If you look at their percentage win rate on attacker and defense, if you combine it and then you do the same thing for NRG, they're literally almost the exact same. So I think this game's way more
counter
50-50,
argument. They got brutally
and I want
molested
points.
by G2 Esports and Leviathan stood a chance.
Yeah, counter argument. I have a gut feeling, so I win. NRG baby, rubbing my hands together. 3 points,
Counter argument. Demon 1 drops 50.
dude. Exactly.
Against his former team.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He drops 50, and who else drops 50? I don't think so, buddy.
Tex.
Dropping 5. That's my
Tex, King,
prediction.
Rossi. Who else?
Hex drops 5. Rock goes, hey buddy, I'm locking Tejo. I'm
Bro,
locking
50
in.
is
Drops
enough. I'm
30
not gonna
kills
lie.
per
50 on
map.
one player
90.
is enough for NRG. Who's gonna
Nah,
drop
nah,
kills on
nah.
NRG?
Rock 90.
Mana drops
Rock
20 kills,
90.
sure.
Rock
Finesse gets
90.
2.
Mata
Som
goes,
gets
hey baby,
5.
I'm in
Ethan
tier
gets
2.
3. Rock gets 4. You know?
Listen, think about it this way. Ethan, he has a dream the previous night. He's at champs. He's won. He has the trophy in his hands. He wakes up the next day. He feels like he has the world at his fingertip. FNS, same thing. Dreams. He's on Optic. He goes into the match locked in. Som, he has a dream that the entire match he's just streaming and he can just fuck around. Boom. Boom.
I
Instant
have a
aura.
counter argument again. He dreams. Ethan has that dream, and then he realizes that Demon Man carried his ass, and he realizes he's playing against Demon Man, so he's just afraid of playing against him now, and he shoots the bed.
Nah. This is the dream. No.
Okay, counter
Ethan
argument.
dreams and he
Counter
goes,
argument.
all my util carried Demon 1 and he farmed off my util. Boom.
Wait, this
Counter
is a
argument.
huge game. It qualifies the team.
Demon 1 has a dream where he was the best player in the world back in 2023, and he realizes he still has it in him. Calm realizes he was a goated initiator and he won champs. King realizes he won Americas last year. Tex realizes he won Americas last year. By the way.
Yeah. You can say all of this, but like, Calm carried by lurking, Demon 1 carried by util, and then look at Ethan, bro. By himself. Util God. Mata, he's him. Brock, he's him. Brock's literally named after a goddamn Pokemon trainer, bro. How can you beat that? You shouldn't even try.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
for me, I just
Large
think that
Merchant.
I'm just gonna leave
NRG
this
just
here.
have like
Dude,
NRG
51
just
assists. This dude was literally dumping util to get his team kills. This guy's the fucking goat. What did Com do? Ooh, guys, are you planting A? I'm on B. Give me 5 seconds, please. What do you have to say to that, huh? What do you have to say to that? 65
Okay,
fucking
65
assists.
assists. Crazy.
Dude, this dude, the only reason EG won anything is because of fucking Ethan. I will die on
Yeah,
this
no,
fucking hill.
that's
This
no,
dude,
this
this
entire
dude,
EG roster was like it's a combination. Like we've said it before, but like they're all role players, you know?
dude,
Like
what can you do against Prime Ethan? Bro, I would literally be like crying. You were full blind for like 20 seconds straight, and then Demon 1 was just on top of your head. There's just nothing you can do, bro. And it was all Ethan. Listen. Everyone on NRG can activate. They just need to like. Mata just needs to be like, haha, guys, I'm in tier 2. Rock, same thing. Sam goes, I'm on stream. FNS goes, I'm on EG. And fucking Ethan, or fucking OG, fucking whatever the fuck, Optic, same thing. And Ethan goes, I'm on fucking EG, and they win, for free.
you
That's all
see,
I
for
gotta say.
me, NRG are just like a balloon that's been slowly been deflating more and more, you know? And from what I've seen,
Whoa.
that
Getting 4 kills with a British person on your team, a British thing, that's actually impressive. You cannot fault him. That's all I have to
British
say on that
thing,
matter.
a British thing.
okay, anyway, that's what you said.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the energy are like a balloon that's been slowly deflated, and then they're gonna face Lev. They're gonna lose 2 rounds, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna see Mata. He's gonna shake his head. I'm gonna see like Rogue looking the other way. I'm gonna see FNS start giving 0 comms as an IGL, and it's just gonna be a disaster class. I mean, Lev, they took a map of G2, NRG. I can't give you any props, man. I mean, they've just lost 0-2. I mean, the last win was against Furia. Okay, the last win against Furia, and then they have not won a map since. And that was 3.
Counter argument. Yeah, I have a gut feeling, so I win.
Okay.
Alright.
Sound logic. That's what
Do you
Yeah.
guys want to take a
It
break
came to
for
me in a dream.
Pacific, or do you guys want to just jump right in?
Dude, I want P. I'm good.
It's too Pacific now.
Yeah, let's go right
Yes.
into it.
Right into it.
Yep.
Okay.
Boom's winning everything in playoffs 2-0. They're gonna qualify and then win every tournament for the rest of the year. And DOS9 will be crowned the GOAT, and he'll be Faker level. All right, move on. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Next podcast.
Okay.
Next podcast.
I don't want to go to the next podcast because then I'd have to talk about tech, and I don't want to talk about
Ooh.
tech.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
applause by guy.
So let's just stay on this one for now. Anyway, the first game that we missed like a ton of games, but first game was
Let's
Paper
go.
X Boom.
Let's go. Okay. Let's go quickly through this.
Yeah, quickly.
Boom.
Boom, still insane. Paper X, they sub in Patman for Mind Freak. Maybe not the choice I would have made if I was on the roster, but
If we
they
want to go
played
quick, I
decently.
thought
But
Batman played fine, and I think people overhated him, and I think he's
Yeah,
a
I
good
think
move.
Batman
And I
was
think
I
he's
don't
fine.
think Patman was getting any hate, to be honest. I think the hate was coming
I saw hate.
because or okay,
So
well,
hate for Mr. Certain someone, but
You know who deserves the hate? Fucking something overrated. I will fucking keep saying it. I don't give a fuck.
I completely agree.
I absolutely disagree with you there. Like,
I think he's getting better though.
listen,
I think something is getting better. I will say
I think
that.
something is a
Farmer.
fine guy, but I saw people putting him at like top 2 EMEA duelists, and I was like, okay.
Clip
Oh
farmer.
yeah,
I think
people love to hate on this guy right here because he's so unflexible and he can
Wang
only
Jing
play
Jae.
Raze. And look at this guy right here who can only play Jet, right? Like I remember I made a post a while ago and it was like comparing Jing and something, all the agents they've ever played, and something is better at Fragger on most of the agents. He was shit with all the util, right? And I mean like I'm glad they're like leaning more into like the Yoru, right? Like they're trying to make him like learn Yoru.
3 assists on fucking Tejo. Skull emoji
Yeah.
times fucking 10, dude. Holy fuck, dude.
If we
Also,
just
like,
take a peek here at our
You know what? Actually, put up Brock starts. Let's see how many assists Brock had when he was playing for Shopify Revenue
Brock.
on Tejo. Yeah.
Dude, fucking .64. Bro, go to his assists. 11! Bro, this guy's fucking farming them. Look at his fucking assists per
It's
round
across all
compared to
three
his...
maps. They're across all 3 maps. Bro, come on.
Bro, nah, there's no argument, bro. There's no fucking
Okay, I'm
argument.
not arguing for the Jing Tejo. I think that was horrendous. But what I am
but
saying is there's something Yoru looked pretty good on Lotus. Like
I think I
it
think
looked
Jing's
somewhat,
been
it
looking.
looked decent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Jing's
think
been
Jing's
looking
been
better
looking
on
yeah.
fine on the
smokes.
Brimstone.
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
Even on
replace
the
someone
Omen.
here, I think
it's
it's time to
tough.
bring up this
Unk
situation.
needs to go.
Oh,
It-
dude, he flashed himself twice on Fracture. That the ending to the map was the most comical thing I've ever seen in my life.
and
Yeah, what do you know?
he just doesn't know how to play Astra. That's the thing. Like I remember there was one round where he ulted and he ulted for the other team. Like his ult like just completely didn't work. And it's like
Oh yeah, I remember on Pearl. No,
yeah,
he
yeah.
first ulted and then he smoked off his ult. Like, why would
Yeah.
you use the smokes if you already
Yeah, it
ulted?
just I don't know. It to me this seemed like Divide maybe he's like doing something like palms wise or something like that. Like that Mind Freak isn't doing. Like that makes him more valuable. But at the same time it's like
Please, get Forsaken some help. Like, I can't. This patch
like
is
if
suffering
this
too
team
much.
continues to do bad, I think Divide is next and you've got to sign like an IDL. Like or like someone that can
Yeah,
like
I
help on this.
I
think
have
this
the
team
perfect
really
IGL for
needs
this team. I have the
IGL.
perfect
I don't
IGL
think
for
it's
this
an
team.
IGL issue. I don't think an IGL will fix anything.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, that's what I'm saying, dude. Bring
Yeah,
back Mr. Eggs, Ben Kai, dude.
I miss his walkouts, man. I miss him, man.
Dude, the fucking go Aura Farmer extreme.
Yes.
the Aura Farmer
Okay.
before the Aura Farmer. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
just to
Talon
keep
Nongchen.
moving. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, let's keep it clear.
Talon Nongshin.
So yeah, I
Talon
mean,
Longshin.
This was
I think
a bit of an
Talon look
upset, I would
really
say.
good sometimes.
Yeah,
Was it
Talon is
Magic
a
Talon
coin
look?
flip team. Bro, I just said team with the country accent. Talon is a
Also,
coin flip
Longshin
team.
looked really bad. That's also
Either
what
they're
happened
really
there.
good or really shit. Nongshin, they got exposed a bit. Ivy did not look comfortable on the ISO at all. I will say that he didn't really look that good on the ISO. Yeah, no, this is like this was just an underperformance. As you can see, like they definitely bounced back from this. Their next game was versus Team Secret, which to be fair is Team Secret, but yeah, no, this is. I feel like this is more Talon like playing really well than Notch and playing horribly, right? Like I still don't think
Yeah.
Notch played like amazing, but like obviously they lost, but like I think this is just Talon playing really good.
I just think Talon they can't decide on their identity. They don't ever look middle of the pack. They either look like a super good team or a team that's never played Valorant together before. I mean, it's just so questionable. I feel like yeah, they just lose against Zeta. I don't know what this team is. Like I can't
Yeah.
I
I mean,
can't pin it
okay,
down to you.
the loss against Zeta is, I don't think it's that big of a deal, considering what happened. So
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you see this team, you beat Nongxin, right? I would say you'd think that this team looks at least somewhat up there, and then they lose to Zeta and now are in fear of elimination. I just think that Talon overall they can't decide. That one week they look really good, one week they look really bad. I think
I will
that
say though, if they're looking to replace someone, I remember it was I forget who said it.
keep Frost there.
It was
Frost
the
keeps things interesting.
it might have been I forget which map it was. I remember after one of their losses, like there was like an interview with Frost, and Frost was like, "Yeah, no, if like I think it might have been Ascent. It was when did they lose Ascent? It was here when they lost 13-5 to RRQ. He was like, the boys they were like playing like really aggressive, and if I knew they wanted to play aggressive, I would have given them a different call. And it's like, what the fuck? You're the head coach. How do you not know if they want to play aggressive or not? Right? And like, how do you like? To me,
Okay,
this seems
that's
like
not.
now that they're a full Thai roster, like his like there's like more like language barrier now. right? Like everything is being translated through the crews, like not everything is getting through, like it
I'm
just
going to defend Frost there. They could have had a game plan, right? And Cruz, they probably just chose not to follow that game plan. He gave them a game plan. They didn't follow it. They went in for more, more aggressive, fights across A and B, and they just lost. Like if you wanted to fight all along, you should have told me. I don't think Frost is at fault there.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
if you
just
want someone to replace, please replace Shit Boys, dude. That's all I gotta say. This
No,
dude's
no,
been
no,
so
no. My goat
ass.
Jit Boy stays, but I think this roster is the best
No.
high roster you could get.
I
Jit
don't I
Boys
don't
is
know who
insane.
you'd replace him with though. That's my thing. Like I would say
Yeah,
Surf,
I
right? But
know.
like they brought in
He's been
Surf last year and like he's still
Surf's
on the
been kind
roster,
of
but like
cheeks.
he's been washed, Like I don't know many Thai
Dude,
players.
just find
Maybe like
someone from ranked. Boom.
John Olsen, right? I
oh,
remember John Olsen was insane, right?
John Wilson.
John Olsen was fucking cracked, dude.
John
I don't
Wilson
even
is
know if
washed
he's super
though.
active.
like he hasn't played in forever, no?
No, he played
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
he
he
might
year
be
at
washed.
Ascension.
washed.
He played us, or this is an Ascension. But he didn't make Ascension, or did he?
Go
No, this is
to
after Ascension,
ooh,
right?
go down. Go to you.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
that
yeah.
match versus Alter Ego. Go down. Oof.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay, never mind. Don't
yeah.
don't add bro. Don't
Sushi
add bro,
Boys,
please.
we gonna bring back Zersha? No, I
No,
don't
fuck
think
no.
so. I don't
No,
think
no,
so.
no.
Foxes?
I
Where's
think
I
Zersha
think.
Foxes?
needs to.
I mean,
Foxes?
looking at the
Fox
replacements,
is
I think.
crazy.
We bringing back Foxes?
Fuck,
Yeah, Foxes have been playing good.
so can he
Dude.
get? Can he be on the
As I
Sentinel?
say, as I say that, as I say that.
Every time you pick up the first match, it's just.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, okay,
Uh,
okay, okay, okay.
Garnet, let's bring back
No,
Garnet.
but
No?
you gotta talk about like these guys have to play Sentinel, right? I mean,
Dude, I literally just found it, dude. How old is this guy? I know I gotta find this out. Go look up Baby TZ. This dude's been nuking. Just add him. Boom, done. Same fucking role. Look at this dude. Holy fuck. This guy's crazy.
Let's look at
Wait,
his
what's his
Twitter.
name again?
Let's
Can
see
you
his
show me his
age.
name again?
Baby
Baby
TZ.
TZ. Oh, he has the Aspas profile pic.
Dude, that's what I'm saying,
December
dude.
31st.
31.
Well, I don't
That's
know what year that
yeah.
is. Um,
Wait,
do we
I
know how
found
old
it.
he
I
is?
found it. Dude, he's 23. Just add, bro.
I
It's
think
Get Baby TZ, bro. What
she's a
team is
game
he on?
changer player, no?
Mad Army? Is this
Oh,
team
he's a
rich?
game changer.
is he?
I mean,
Yeah, she's a game changer player. You saw the
I don't give a fuck. Add her.
Yeah, get her, get
yeah,
her. Oh
Dude,
my
I don't
god,
give a fuck. Add her,
we're
dude.
gonna look so
No.
transphobic
Listen.
now because we've been
Listen.
misgendering her the entire
Listen.
oh,
time.
Listen. Listen. I want you to listen closely to my words right now. You saw what happened with Floor. Floor's fucking crazy.
Bro,
Add Baby
Floor is
TZ.
absolutely agree with
insane,
you.
bro.
Actually,
I
look at Niffy too, dude. There's so many
Ni-
players who are nuking in tier 2 right now.
Hear me out.
Niffy.
Get Remy to Sentinel. Get Donut from FlyQuest. Not
Okay,
FlyQuest. Now
this
it's
is
Shop Academy.
Dude, Chodo
confirmed the
Nut's
guy, right? I don't
crazy,
want to
for
misgender them.
real. Yes.
Okay.
That is
Yeah,
a whole ass dude. I
listen,
think.
I don't want to misgender anyone, okay? Yeah, no, but fuck, where were we?
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, no, Talon, very up
The,
and down, very up and down.
let's move on. Let's move on.
next game.
DRX GE. Oh,
Direct versus
and
GE.
Oh
uh,
my gosh, this game.
this
That was.
was the first
I
game
like.
without what's his name? First without Juvenile, and Patrick, who
Patrick? Who? I've never heard of a player of that name.
yeah, GE certainly did not hear about him after this game. So
Yeah.
this
We never
game,
heard from him. He's gone.
yeah, you got to feel for GE though that like they lost their head coach, the guy that built this roster. He was definitely like one of the
His
ones behind the
roster
stats.
looked good too, like in the
Yeah,
start. Like it's
they
a really
look good in
promising
kickoff and
roster.
they look decent like throughout the first couple of weeks. And like they have players like Utaton is insane, Crystal is insane. I say Kelly S was pretty decent, Poppy was pretty decent. Patrick Koo,
Yeah,
anyway.
not the prodigy to be hyped up.
Anyway, and while we could talk about
I mean,
DRX, I feel like it's not. Oh, we could talk about Estrella. Estrella debuted for him, and Estrella looked insane.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, you can also talk about flashback being
well,
insane,
we'll
but
talk about that the next game they play. But
yeah,
yeah, this is just a stomp from them. We go into T1 Team Seek. I don't think we got to talk about this one this
didn't
much.
T1 almost lose this match?
No,
they did.
Oh no,
They
they
yeah,
lost one map.
they
They
lost one map, and
almost
then on
losing. They lost
Lotus,
Icebox.
they were super close on Lotus, and then T1 completely dominated them on the other half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this to me just seems
Bugs.
like we'll talk about this as well for the other games. But T1, they're just kind of cruising through. You know, like they're shitting on
They're
everyone.
not
They're
even
not really
trying.
trying
Like
that hard.
they're still using the old stuff.
Yeah. Get help for Envy, man. Free Envy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Envy is like the
dude.
only good player, bro. The rest of them are so
Yeah.
washed.
Does Envy
He
know
is so
English? I know a
good,
lot
bro.
of Pinoys know English. If he knows English, please,
No,
dude.
listen, I'm
Yo,
talking.
Envy,
Envy can
Envy,
join any NA roster
join
and be the
GE,
best player on
join
there.
GE
Yeah, dude.
for Patrick Udarian. Join GE. You know, GE
Puppy.
becomes a Filipinian
And
warrior.
Ultron can be duelist then.
Yeah, a Udaton
That's
duelist.
what
Udaton duelist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Udaton duelist.
Yeah,
Dude,
Udaton's
honestly,
insane on
four
duelist.
Gen Z
Pinoys
globally.
and a fucking Korean just nuking, dude, I'm down for it, honestly.
And then we got elevated
Yeah.
the American head coach. Yeah. And then we got this
this.
game,
I love
DRX
Boom.
Bloom,
This game,
the return of
Flashback was
Bane.
like, you know what, I'm a head out. And
Yeah.
they just switched Freeing to playing Flashback's role and Bane to play Freeing's role. Which I think they could have done otherwise. I think Bane
Yeah, no,
should
Bane
be
was
pretty good on dueling.
originally a duelist. He was originally a
Yeah.
duelist. If they wanted to play
They
double
should have let him
duelist,
play
why
Yuri.
not put him on duelist, you know? Like, this is Freeing's first ever game on Europe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it showed. It
he's
showed.
never played another duelist before in his career. Like that, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
I have no clue what they're doing, man. I mean, Freeing has literally been on Permatejo for your entire time, and Bane has played duelist for you. I don't get it. The roles just
even
don't make sense.
DOS 9
what
just
do you
scared
call
the
it?
fuck out of him with his aura, and they just didn't
yeah,
even know
no,
what to do.
they
They were
got
like
fucking
fucking, their
scared by
hands were
Boom.
shaking
Thing is,
so bad. They looked at him across
once
the stage, their
DRX
hands shook
qualified,
so bad, they clicked on the wrong character.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying once DRX usually qualifies for events, they like to experiment a bit with the roles and whatnot.
Yeah, that
So
is
I don't
true.
think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, no, I think this was definitely like a thing where like they're like Freeing's an insane aimer. Let's put him on yours, see if he cooks. But yeah, what do you guys think about Flashback though? Because
I love Flashback.
Second time
Jeremy
dueling.
has stated now, like he said in an interview, it's like we know the one that happened last year, which was what ahead of stage one, right? Where he went out and then Bane came in for the first time.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
apparently as well, he said that Flashback has like requested a lot of leaves, and he hasn't like, they haven't like said yes to any of them except for like this is one of the first ones that they said yes to.
Yeah.
This one in stage one, but apparently he's requested leave a lot, and like that to me,
My headcanon is that Flashback is living a double life like Dexter Morgan, and he's just doing something in secret. He just needed time off, to get some. That's why he hasn't been playing well. He just needs to let off some steam.
Yeah,
Once he'll be
no.
back, he's going to be the best player in Korea. I just like.
Well, wasn't there the one rumor where they accused Flashback of
yeah, no, that's also to bring up. So I believe
Non-consensual
Flashback's.
internal ejaculation
Yeah,
was
yeah,
what he was accused of.
yes.
this guy right
And
here? You know, he's Dexter.
that's the
Okay,
first
no.
time. That was the first time he was allowed. He was excused for playing the game, and that's what everyone thought it was. Everyone thought it was just that Flashback was accused of
But that happened after,
and then-
no? I feel didn't that happen like before champs?
yeah, what
Mm.
No,
happened?
that happened before stage one. That happened
Yeah.
before
Before-
stage
No,
one.
he
and
left
Flashback was
before
pissed
stage
off.
one, but that wasn't the accusation before champs.
It was
No,
the
no, the
it was before champs,
during stage one.
but like right before champs, they said he was like he was allowed to be in the roster or something, and you mean that crazy in the game. Like
Yeah.
stage 2, I think it was.
No, he came back. When did he come back? Yes, it's stage 2 because
Came
that's
up,
when Stacks
stage
left.
two.
That's when Stacks left. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything to do with that, to be honest. Right? I think like they said it was like family issues, which like I'm inclined to believe them because
Yeah, I don't.
I
believe
would
that.
I would
think he's
rather
just
give
gonna-
them the benefit of a doubt, but yeah.
Yeah.
I want everyone's opinion real quick here. What do we think of DRX sticking to Hyunmin Mako freeing Flashback and Estrella? So
Without
minus
Bane?
Bane plus Estrella.
I mean,
Yeah,
when
I
I
want everyone's
heard
opinion on that.
Estrella was coming in, I thought Flashback would be gone, to be honest, because I thought Bane would bring like the
I mean,
energy,
that
like
did
he's
happen.
like
That
the
did
vibes
end up
guy, you know, he's the Korean Zelsis. So like that's why I think
I
they,
mean,
but like they looked really good with
I mean,
Flashback, but I don't.
I
They-
feel like
Let me
Hyunmin's
just
also a
ask you.
great vibes guy.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think the roster was actually fine without Estrella, but he's been playing pretty well. So if you really wanted to bring him in, I would take.
I'm
Wayne
happier
out.
with Estrella.
I guess
I'm
he
gonna be
takes off.
honest, because he's gonna
Yeah, me
IGL,
too.
and that
Yeah,
lets
he's gonna
Mako.
IGL, so Mark is gonna be free to actually
Yeah.
play his game.
Yeah, because then it'd be Mako no IGL, Estrella IGL, and he's still playing very well. Then you
Yeah.
still have Flashback, Freeing, and Human who are all just
I
nuking
s-
players.
yeah.
So
I think Flashback is just such a good talent that you really can't replace him. I understand Bane's like a vibes guy, but like I mean I think
Yeah, no, I think they looked
the
really
vibes
good
guy.
with the roster they played versus GE. Like if they kept that roster, I'd be
Yeah.
really happy. My only concern is like the flashback, like coming in, coming out. Like that's my only concern. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe here's my theory. Termy wants to keep flashback because he knows he's gonna come in, come out, so he has an excuse to run a 6-man roster.
holy fuck,
You know?
And then
fuck.
he's gonna win an event because guys, the reason
I
we won this
told you.
event was because of the 6-man roster. Everyone doubted me, and this is look where we are.
Exactly. I just
Or
want to
me,
bring up real quick on
masterclass.
Boom's side. They played really well. I think that Haven DOS9 just did not know how to
Never put
play
DOS9 on your
ISO.
floor. I saw
Like he was playing it like a
that.
smokes player, and it was just it was clear he was not comfortable on it. But other than
I mean,
that, they're insane. Yeah,
gotta give credit to Berserk's X. He's been playing incredible.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
all of Boom have just like you can't even say like in kickoff they were like okay, and like Ascension they were clearly like a tier 2 team, right? Like it wasn't like Nongchen where they're like insane and like maybe you could see them in tier 1. They were clearly a tier 2 team, and now they're just insane. Like it's crazy how much like
Yeah.
like they had what do they do? They promoted their assistant coach to head coach, right? And then they had DOS9 join instead of
Yep.
fuck, I forget I forget who's in this roster. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, no. So good for them. Like
It was
props to them.
some bummy bum bum. Another thing to mention is Famous has the highest combat score average in all of Pacific. This dude's been actually destroying.
Yeah.
I think you can make a legitimate argument for any of the Boom players to be Rookie of the Year in Pacific.
You could, yeah. But I mean,
You could,
not all of them. They're all technically rookies because they're
they're
the
all.
first year stage 1.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. That they're all playing insanely well. Like they don't have a weak link.
Yeah, I'd actually tend to agree. I think like if you wanted to like really hyper analyze, the weakest link on Boom would be Shiro.
He's our IGL or
I'd say
is he
Shiro,
the
yeah, but like
IGL?
even
Yeah.
then, like Shiro, like if you watch the games, like he's still shooting
been
better
fine.
than like a good chunk of exactly. He's been fine. That's the thing. Like
He's been fine and he's
if
been
you
IGL.
wanted to find a weak link, then it would be Shiro. But
I
you
don't
have
think
to
that,
like
yeah, but
actually
you'd have
want
to like
find it.
really like look into
Yeah.
it, you know?
And even
but
then, like I would not want to take a site versus
yeah.
that dude.
okay.
Anyway, next game, which
Nongchen Team
is
Secret.
another disaster class by Team Secret.
Oh,
I
dude.
mean, Invi top frag again.
Get
I
this
don't
man
I
some
don't
help.
even talk.
He's playing
Dude,
every
Wild
agent, man. He's
Oreo's
going
so
from flex to
bad.
smokes to sentinel, man. Get him some help. I am surprised though, Wild Oreo. Wild
Again
Oreo.
on the bottom. Oh my gosh, he's been having
Dude,
a
he's been
rough
having a
one.
shit season.
Yeah,
And
bro.
2G is also
I
been
remember when
really
he
under
came in,
performing.
I'm like, I was such a big fan because I remember because I loved his name. I was like, this had so much aura, you know. I'm like,
Dude, he
Wild
also was
Oreo.
playing well in T2.
Yeah, no. When
He was.
what was it? Stage
So
2
was 2G.
last year. What?
Yeah, he's a pretty good controller, right?
Yes, 2G was really good on
Like
controller.
stage 2. If we look at the regular season for is this stage 2? Yeah, it is. Fuck, where was my blind? Team Secret 4-0, by the way, against Genji T1 GE Blue. Like GE Blue, sure, but T1 had just won to Shanghai and Genji they just won Shanghai. They went 4-0. It was like they were insane, and then they immediately go to
They beat
playoffs and
Paper
lose to
X too.
Premi. Right?
Yeah,
Like
that was tough.
yeah, it's just like they were so good, and like it makes sense, like right, like the only my goat again, Envy. Like 2GE was playing well. Wild Oreo, you know, he's playing well. Jeremy, he was playing decent. Jesse Vash, you know, he's Jesse Vash, right? But like,
I mean, even Jesse
the
Vash
only
went
change they made was the
0.9
coach,
dude.
right? And I think that had such a big effect on them. They cut Warbirds, right?
Yeah.
Had such a big effect. But yeah, Nongshan, the first map was pretty close, but it was more of like Nongshan, I think, failing to like. I guess it's like the same problem they always have, like the Danby overheats and like the rest of the team underperformed. It's like it is actually kind of surprising because 4 of their players went negative, where on Team Secret's team only 2 of them did, and yet Nangshan won. You know?
I was gonna say, if you look at Team Secret, dude, I would not be confident in their coaching staff. Their head coach, his name is Meow. Like, dude, I would not take that dude seriously.
Yeah, bro. Why did they cut Warbirds, man? He was so good for them. He was so
Dude,
good.
like, if I was in a team, in my, in like, it's like, hey guys, we have this new head coach, Meow. I'd be like, are you good, dude? Is that like a verbal tick? And he's like, no, Meow. And I'd be like, oh, okay, bro. Like, no role playing in my serious fucking prac room, please. And it's
Yeah.
just that's just who they have. Like,
I
this
mean,
guy, look at his history, dude. He was boom coach when they were dog shit, and then he was fucking tuba pull gaming. Like, dude, what the fuck? What?
hey, guys, so don't disrespect 2022 Boom.
Hear me out. I think this guy just
What
held
you
Boom
know?
down. I think
What you
City
know
should have
Dude,
about
Boom
the
down.
I
what you know
did
about
not, dude.
22?
I
What you
did
know about
not
the
like
Crash's
old
rope
boom,
ace?
dude. No.
What you know about 3 different people on their team playing Chamber on the same series?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Um,
It's just
yeah,
fucking meow.
yeah, no, but
PaperX also had 3 different players playing Chamber, right?
they had the just Divine
Yeah, they
Forsaken.
did.
No, no. Jing
No,
also played Chamber on Breeze, I
Jing played
think.
chamber.
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
He did. He did on Breeze.
He
On
did.
Breeze?
Yeah, dude, he did. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was only a couple times, but yeah, he did.
Bro, I do not. The only Breeze I remember from Paper X is the Neon
Neon
Asterisk
Breach. Yeah.
Yoru Breach Fade.
Yeah.
That's the only Breeze I remember. Because
And
what was the term
honestly, that
event?
comp might work in 2025.
By
Because what
the
I
way,
remember
I'm
is
just kidding.
Forsaken would play Chamber, and then whenever you flex to Duelist, like Jet or Neon, Devi would pick up Chamber. Because
Yeah.
Devi played it on Icebox and Fracture, this time I remember.
No, yeah.
Anyway,
Just because you couldn't play Raze, so they just put Jing on Chamber.
Dude,
yeah.
Jing has a 1.44 rating on Deadlock, and it's not even like 1 or 2 maps. It's 6 maps, dude. I think I found the cheat code. They're just, they're too scared they're gonna win
That's
every
all
tournament if they
season
use
though,
it.
no?
I don't
It's
give a
also
fuck, dude. Put him on fucking Deadlock.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's been playing
like
well on smokes. To be fair to him, he's been playing well. Like, he's been getting better on smokes, I should
Mm,
say.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
if when he gets used to the util, he'll be good. But I
They
think
they I forget. I think it was Alex who said like they're trying to make Jing like tens, where his transition he was like a very aggressive duelist, and
I agree.
and then he like
I
went
see.
to
I
own.
can see it.
Anyway,
okay,
next
let's
game
talk about
GE
Gen
Gen
G.
G.
Oh,
I
Another
mean,
stomp.
this is where you really saw like G kind of like like get boomed. I mean, they've been
You
having
got to
rough
see the
series
return
against.
of Darion, lead Darion back in the
Yeah,
house.
you did have a return of Darion, who did not have a great series. I mean, they G didn't look that much better. I mean, of the
What?
DRX series, I feel like you really see the team die. We saw back on no, we still have Udoton on Flex and then have Darion on Duelist, and just didn't look that great. I mean, if you put Patrick Hu there without Darion's name, I believe you. It's a rough one for Boom. I mean, not Boom, GE. I think that for GE, they also started a lot of these rounds like negatively, if I remember correctly. They always they started like these. Let me look. Oh yeah, um, they were. Oh, actually, they were pretty okay. I was in first duels, but I remember like the start of the rounds for GE, they weren't that great, and then you would sort of have like a trade out, and then Genji would just win that.
Yeah.
watching Darion, like I always liked Darion as a player, but watching him on this map was like, you have a favorite character in season 1 who just fades out of relevance. So he has a cameo in season 3, but gets absolutely bodied by the bad guy because he hasn't leveled up. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, no,
That's
it's
a perfect way.
well, that's a violation. But yeah, I gotta agree. I think in stage 2, they definitely gotta pick up like a new coach. Like, I don't want to bring hate to Elevated because he was given like a horrible hand. This is his first time being like a main coach for a roster. Like even before in kickoff, it was his first time being like a main assistant coach. He was an assistant coach for Ascend, but like it was like barely an assistant coach. Like he was like one of like I think 3 other ones.
More of an analyst.
Yeah,
He didn't
and
deal with
Yeah,
players.
and then
he's
he
an
was
analyst, not a coach.
yeah, and so I feel bad like I feel bad for all
You
the
think
players on
they
this
have
roster.
juveniles still working, like coaching them
No,
behind the scenes, and
he's
he just
like it said
This
like
is how
his
you text
contract was
my
terminated with
pittance.
GE, but
it's been terminated.
yeah, like on the contract database they said
I can
it.
check right now.
I remember seeing it on like the VCT whatever
I
updates on
would
that.
fucking hope so, dude.
Oh yeah, I think it's terminated. That's a terrible hand that elevator's been dealt. What?
Oh,
Nope.
listen.
I don't think so,
It's
dude.
Clickless,
not.
Ara, 1010.
Oh, yeah, there is it. There it is. Juvenile has been terminated.
I don't know. Hold up. Let me double check. Pacific.
No, he's gone. He's gone. You can see the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
He's gone. He's
yeah, he
gone.
is.
Hear me out.
Preston.
We
His name
have
is Preston,
one
bro.
guy. We have a guy who wants to coach, and he played for Global Esports before.
Yeah, but
Venka.
all
Venka is looking for a coaching role for China
Listen,
or
Oh,
guys,
Asia
dude,
Pacific.
I
true.
know they're looking for a duelist, right?
good old SK Rossi.
Okay. Like, I know it's a joke, but at the
Unironically,
same
he's
time,
actually been kind of nukey.
like he would help the community, and like he was decent, right? Like I remember there was like a bunch of memes
He
about him,
had
but he
okay,
was
you
like
know that
Right.
one something clip on something's debut, right? On Icebox. He has that one knife 3K.
he was at a 1.0 rating. Like he wasn't terrible. He was better than Zest.
No,
Dude, that's
I
almost two
know.
times better than Patrick Hoot. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, what were you saying?
That's true. That one clip where something gets a 3K on Icebox with his knives, just instantly.
Fair. We don't like. He wasn't playing duelist. He wasn't playing
You
duelist.
know,
Okay. But
no,
yeah,
I'm talking
no.
about something here. I'm just saying, SK Rossi did something that game on Jet. He def Meteor on Jet. He was a pretty good duelist.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like
look at the
he
2020
wasn't
Genji game.
god awful, but like I think people like to meme about him because like especially in hindsight because you got Mr. Texture over here playing Sentinel. Um, you know.
Look at the Icebox.
But this is just too funny
What
to
was
me.
she doing here? What was she
God,
doing here? I don't even remember
that is
this.
By the way,
that is
wait.
truly global esports.
Dude, they
That
were
is true
global.
global esports. What?
I love how they subbed Texture out for map 3, despite him.
Dude, I'm actually still salty about Ronsky. That dude was so good.
Was
He
he?
was.
Was he though?
Yeah, he
I don't. I
He
was.
don't.
was
I
Dude,
don't
he
pretty
know
was
good.
anything about
fucking
him. Was he though?
good. He
Um,
was.
you know who
I
He's
I'm
like
salty
the
about? Aaron,
he's the
bro.
SK Rossi of Australia.
Aaron.
Does
This
that make
team
sense?
made Aaron retire, bro. He used to be so good on exit. You know, like
Was he really though? I feel like he just held back Cryo and second, no?
no. He was. I mean,
he
Dev.
was
If
like
you're talking
okay.
about, yeah. If you wanna, he was like a co IGL with Def, right? He ran
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
he was
ran defense
co-IGL on,
while
yes.
Def
Yes.
ran attack.
If you can ask me anything about Exit, dude, I fucking know this team inside and out.
You know, you
Oh,
got Cryo,
I
BCJ,
used to love
Dev,
XM, man, and then
and
They were my favorite team of all time. I
bro,
fucking love
I loved
Exit.
except for this guy right here.
Off.
God, the hatred goes down.
Dude,
After Sentinel, Def, and Psycho, I stopped liking Exit.
Exit
Yeah,
played that well with a British thing on their team. You have to, dude. Cryo and Zekin are the greatest players of all time. They made it work. I don't know how. If I had a dude
Psycho.
going, "Oi, bruv, give me a biscuit and crumpet," I would literally lose my
No,
mind. I would
what?
not be able to play.
Am I tripping? Psycho, right? Psycho.
yeah, it is Psycho. I just did they?
Did
Hold
they
up,
remove
I
him?
got this.
He's part of M80, right? Psycho
Oh,
NT.
Oh, it's like
oh, it's
It's two Ys.
SYY.
It's two Ys. Bro, this guy, I'm not gonna lie, at Champs 2022, he had so much aura. You know, he was like shushing the crowd.
Holy
He was like
fuck,
pulling up in
dude.
the suit. They're
yeah,
calling him
pulling out the
John
like
Wick.
the
The John Wick.
suit. Yeah.
Yeah, he had so much aura, bro. I
Dude,
remember.
Andy's from fucking Atlanta,
And
dude.
then
This guy
he
knows
came
ball.
to Sent and he ruined my team. He ruined Pinkata. He ruined Sassy. He ruined Tens.
Insider job.
Yeah. Actually. Anyway,
Alright, let's move on.
anyway, where were we? How
T1
did we
versus
how did we even
RRQ.
get here? How did we even get here? Oh, we're talking about
Uh,
GE.
Someone said SC Rossi would be good duels.
Okay. Where were we? Genji, GE.
Okay,
T1
T1
RQ.
RQ.
This was
A big
Oh,
upset.
RRQ played so well. RRQ was insane this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
And
whoa! Big
more
upset.
so,
I would say it's like an
uh,
upset, but I wouldn't say a big upset. I'd say it's like
it's
I
a
also
do.
decently
T1
sized
just
upset.
refused to play new stuff. Like they're playing the exact same stuff. The Icebox was already exposed by Team Secret. The Lotus was exposed by fucking who were the grand finalists of Bangkok?
G2.
G2, yes, of course. How do I forget their name? Anyway, Lotus was exposed by G2, so T1 definitely they didn't improve upon, and it's the perfect game for RRQ to just capitalize on their mistakes.
I mean, I thought RQ played well up to that point, but I always thought that T1 was a team that if they really needed to win, they had the individuals to pull it off, and yeah, they just got shut down. RQ
I
played
want
an
to say
incredible game.
I want to point the finger at one agent.
Holy fuck, dude! I'm so sorry. Meteor's overrated. I
Meteor
think he's a great player. People think he's
Meteor
one of the
just
best in
can't
the
play
world. He's
Reyna.
not.
He just can't play
I
Reyna.
think
He
he
just
is one of the
doesn't know
best players.
how. Like if he
I
was
Yeah,
don't
playing
think
ISO
GE
that
is one of the
map,
best
they
players
would
in
have
the
won
world.
2-0. If he was playing ISO here, he would like he's playing Reyna like ISO. Like he doesn't know how like I get why they're using Reyna. Because I think like they're using Reyna to for her Lear to nearsight her and to like stop you off and stuff. Like to nearsight the enemy is what I mean. With the blind. But Meteor just has it's like they're like Meteor. Okay, you're gonna play Reyna because in their heads they already know like okay Reyna's good for this, this, and this on Icebox. And Meteor has no idea what to do with Reyna. Like he's just playing her like he would like any other duo like ISO. You know? Like I think if they play ISO on this map, they would have won. And like he's been getting like wins on this point because he's just that good of a player. Like he's just that good of a fragger. I mean, but like his Reyna is just not good. I'm just not a big fan of Reyna in general on Icebox. Just in general.
All right.
Yeah. Any other opinions?
The Lotus. I think T1 should change the Lotus immediately. I feel like the ISO has been figured out on Lotus and it doesn't get the same value.
I mean, they played a different comp than they did in Bangkok. They played Izu Cypher instead of Viper here.
Yeah, easy was Cypher, yeah.
Yeah, but I
They
think
changed the Cypher, they played double smokes.
you gotta put Meteor back on Sentinel then if you want to play Izu Viper.
I think you put
gotta-
Meteor back on Viper, you let Easy play Teho or some other agent. Yoru
Yeah, I
even.
could see that. Like they play Teho Breach, like Sax Breach.
Or they could just play the split comp, right? Where Izu plays Yoru.
You did?
Their old
What's
split
this game?
comp.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
I think there's.
go check the game against G2. They played split.
I'm not a huge fan of Yoru on Lotus in general though. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty.
I'm like we saw G2 get exposed with your own.
No, I'm just saying, like if they really just want to play comfort rules, this is something that can work.
I don't know. I feel like if they just played like default Fnatic comp or like like something like
Yeah.
that.
That too.
They
Chamber could also work. Like you could put
Yeah,
Meteor on
yeah.
Chamber.
You know,
Chamber
they
is still
love
viable on
Chamber.
this map.
They could put Meteor on Chamber. But yeah, no, this isn't worrying signs for
I
me
think
for
T1 will
T1
be
because I
fine.
think T1 will just bounce back. You know, like
Uh,
especially
I think it's.
especially with these
Yeah.
teams, they're primed for Toronto.
Yeah.
Like I
I think
think their
it's
only
good,
worrying
though,
signs
to
is if they
lose.
get into if they get into this area and they haven't changed anything. That's when you start to worry. But like until then, I don't have worrying signs.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? T1.
We are. Oh, this was an important match. This was to save the team from elimination.
Yep. I predicted DFM here, and I was watching this, and I was like, let's go DFM. Okay, Paper X take map 2, and I'm watching this, and they get up to 12-9, and I'm like, I was right. I'm a genius. DFM, they only ever prep for Paper X. It's the only team they care about beating. They're gonna do it again, just like they did at kickoff, where the coach went, yeah, no, we didn't prep for any other team except for Paper X. We only prep for them. And I was like, yes, I was vindicated. And then Paper X bring it back and they win 15-13.
DFM just pissed me off even more after this game, right? When I'm watching Akame play, like he's a pretty good player. His mechanics are pretty good. Even against other teams when he's losing, his mechanics are, they're at a good level. But against Paper X, that man looks like the best player in the world. God damn, the shots he was hitting.
It was insane, bro.
He was fucking LeBron on 2018 cast. Like,
Listen,
it's
I'm
insane.
not gonna say anything, but DFM says this guy. He played
Says.
for them in the off season, and he looked really good. And then they decided to
Yeah, he
sub back
did.
in GM. Like, I'm not saying anything,
I think Jane
but
is not.
yeah, I
That art's been the biggest problem for this
Uh,
team.
I
Art
think
stinker,
you
dude.
cut Art. Like, you gotta get rid of him.
Fart.
You really, yeah, you gotta change art, bro. You gotta change. I mean, off the Odin, he just looks so uncomfortable. He hasn't been getting any like frags whatsoever. He's negative every single game. He's like double negative, then he's
Bro, on
triple
the
negative.
Odin, this dude looks
Minus 32
uncomfortable.
is low-key insane, and your team
He's
is
1 in
1,
12 first
minus
kill,
8.
first death. What the fuck is this guy
how do you have
doing?
12 first deaths?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Just running it down
What?
with the Odin. What a fucking goat, I guess.
Yeah,
0
mean-
and 6-1 map, bro. What?
Also, Paper X Lotus look really good. Something on the Yoru look
Yeah,
somewhat comfortable.
I'm happy. I'm happy seeing them try out Yoru more. It's something.
Man.
But
I
again,
fucking-
Like, this was
How did?
a good
Ooh,
game.
ooh, no, go back to this. How the fuck did Devi go 20 and 10 with a .95 rating? What the fuck? I'm like
and
baffled.
2-0.
What?
The strongest bait fragger.
I guess, yeah, 0 impact.
I will say though, just it's still fitting my narrative. But
Look at
no, but
Forsaken doing everything.
yeah, no, like Forsaken's been having like rough games recently. I will say that.
Yeah, but I don't blame
I
him.
don't
He
know
had to play
why
3
the fuck
different
are they
roles.
putting him on Omen is my question.
I mean, who else would you put on Omen after Divider
It's-
on Astra? I
it's
would
just
put him
like
on
Mind
Omen.
Freak, bro,
Can
get
we, like-
Mind Freak back and
can
cut
we-
Divide.
yeah,
I
can
want
we-
Mind
Divide
Freak is
out.
in
Can we remove-
Indonesia.
Can we
Bro, I
remove
want-
Davai from Mind Freak, bro? He's just been having such a rough one, man.
Listen,
Yeah.
we could do that, but Mind Freak is in Indonesia. He's not here. He just
I
left.
know, but that's what I'm
Like, fuck
saying.
this
Why
team
did
and
you
he's
cut
out.
him for Divide? If you need to play smokes, and Divide can't play smokes, right? Because Forsaken as well, he used to play Sentinel on this map. He was a good Sentinel on this map. He used to play what, Cypher, right?
I think his Cypher was the worst role I've ever seen him play. I think his Sky was better than his Cypher.
I mean, he was decent. And his on Pearl, remember when he used to play Killjoy? I mean, he played Vice here, but like I remember he used to play Killjoy.
His
He was
Astra was really
Killjoy.
good. His
Yeah,
Astra on
his
this map
Astra was
pretty good.
decent on this map. Like you can get away with playing Astra, right? Like it's not like
Yeah.
Omen is like a must-have on like you're already
Dude.
running
I
like a
think
crazy
the
combat.
Forsaken Omen was fine. I wouldn't fault it. Like, it was fine. It was serviceable.
Yeah.
Especially for the
Minus
company we're running.
Devi plus Mind Freak. Dude, this guy's name is Aaron Leonhardt. Dude, this guy's like
That's such
maximum
a
Bro,
aura,
bro,
dude.
like change a
How
couple
can
letters.
you lose
He's the
with that
female
dude's
Titan.
name?
Yeah, no, Annie Leonhardt, the goat.
Dude.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's move on then to Team Secrets, I think.
Zeta.
Junction? Oh no, sorry, it's Zeta. Sorry.
Oh wait,
I'm, like, completely
Talon.
Talon versus Zeta.
Talon.
You got both teams wrong.
Okay.
Anyway,
Talon
before this game, Depp
Burmo.
had come out with he had a shoulder.
Yeah, that's it.
Shoulder injury. And they say it's going to take about 2 weeks, so hopefully he gets better. But that means 10-10, the younger brother of Meteor. He used to play for T1 Academy. He's coming in as the duelist. And my
Just
God,
like Meteor, he's overrated.
overrated.
He played insane.
Whoa.
Nah.
He just played.
whoa.
He just
Nah.
played.
Oh, it's his
That's it.
debut T1
I'm a
map.
hater. I'm a hater. My bad.
Oh
That's
man,
my
Sugar
bad.
Hero and Split was Sugar
Yeah,
Zero and
Sugar
be
Split.
fair,
Hero
he did
was
play
back.
very well.
You could
We
not
got
hit B
Prime
side with this
Sugar
man
Zero.
playing.
I remember it was who was I was watching Chobra's stream and he's like, yeah, I know Depp is watching at home. And he's like, what the fuck, Sugar Zero? You couldn't have done this when I was on the roster? Like, where was this for 2 years?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this gives me hope for Zeta. Like all of their players just played super well. Like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but there's a theory that maybe Depp isn't as good as he seems, and like he's holding the team back. I don't know, but
I think that's
agree.
bullshit.
I don't think that's
Split
true.
did.
I think what really happened is 1010 came in with like a fresh person like to the scene. Like, he's not Japanese, he's Korean. He came in like with his fresh ideas from T1 Academy, and like
He's
he's
like,
like
let's swing
he's
this, and then,
confident.
you know,
He's not.
fuck it,
He's
let's
like
swing it.
running it in. He's running it down every round. And he's bringing confidence to the team, and like he's doing like basically what Demon One
I
did
mean,
in 23 to UG, where like he just brought
I
up all their
guess.
confidence.
But I feel like
Um,
Depp was like running it down even harder, dude. Depp's like the ultimate like
No, but I think
selfless
the
entry
thing
frag.
is like he's like a fresh face, like he's like something new.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I
no.
think
Thing with experienced duelists is they're more reserved. Like, sure, they run it down, but they also know when to hold back. This guy did not. I mean, he held back, but he was definitely more fearless than Depp.
yeah, I feel like he was like very hype with them. I will say that. I also want to say
Depp would
though,
make the percentage play. He would make the right play. This guy would
I
go
wanna say
instinctively. Like,
if when Depp
yeah,
comes
my bad.
back, I don't want 10-10
Yeah.
gone. I want to keep both of them. I want to be greedy and I want both 10-10 and Depp on the roster. I want them.
I mean, that Depp said right. Like, if there's a duelist good enough, he's willing to play support for him.
Yeah, no, and he was decent. I
No, but
remember.
I like depth duels. I think
Like they
I
could
Depth
run
like
was
double
that
duelists. They
duelist a
could run double
lot.
duelists. Like double
They
duelist is
could.
very good
Yeah.
right now. Like if Depp comes back, you just have XDL like not
And
play
Depp
ISO.
was
You have Depp
playing
ISO.
Yoru anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I'm excited for this team now. Like this is breathed hope if they can keep up this performance. If Sugar Zero is actually back, you know. But on the other
Would they
side,
be
talent.
Nongshim?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
face Nongshin.
Okay, Talon. He's lost his
Talon.
father, right? And he didn't call, so Jit Boys was calling. So
Yeah,
I don't play put this game
Yeah,
against them.
Cruz'
They couldn't
father passed
scrim, they
away
couldn't
unfortunately,
practice.
and like that definitely had an effect. But at the same time,
So
it's like
it's whatever. I wouldn't put like they're bipolar. They play one good game, they play one bad game. This was the bad game. The next game will be a good one. Trust.
yeah. I will say though,
Yeah, I
Waylay,
know the way they didn't work out.
yeah, I don't know.
I
But you gotta cut them some slack as well, because especially like if there was a different player, maybe you could, but like he's their IGL, he's their translator between him and Frost. Like props to him too, because I remember on Split he was, he was frying, right? Like props to
Yeah.
him for coming in, like even coming in at all and like going to play, like big props to him. Uh,
Yeah, you could have gotten an academy player.
yeah. Anyway, so
I'm
that's
Not
it.
gonna
really.
Now
No, he had to play them back.
we move on to predictions.
Reds.
Oh,
Let's go
check general,
Reds.
bro. I've sent some beautiful diagrams.
Okay,
I'm
how do
so
I put them
tired.
in? How do I put them in is my question.
Yeah, you
Like
can just
you
copy
want
and
the
paste.
picture?
Okay,
Just do you know how to do Alt Shift S on your
No.
keyboard?
Oh,
What you
I
do
got
is
it.
you
I
Control
got it.
C, you copy image. Nice. I know.
It's okay. We have already a drawn picture right here.
Okay, these are drawn by me.
Well,
All of
yeah.
the good ones are drawn by me. All the bad ones are drawn by Math. By the
Whoa,
way.
math
Yeah.
materials.
Whoa.
Math materials like Da Vinci, dude. You know, you wouldn't understand.
Da Vinci was an artist. He was a sculptor, right?
He did both.
He did everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
did
did
he?
everything,
What
dude.
did
He
he
did
draw?
art. Yeah. He did a fucking
Fucking Mona
massive
Lisa.
hold
Oh,
up.
that was
Yeah.
him.
What? Wait. Do you not know Da Vinci as an artist?
Bro, I forgot. Bro, in my head, I was
Uh-oh.
thinking Da Vinci. I was thinking, what's it called? Fuck,
The
what's it called?
software, Da Vinci Resolve.
The statue. You know what I'm talking about? What's it called? The famous one.
Is it?
The
Da
Thinker.
Vinci did ginormous
Yeah, the
murals
thinker
as
and what was
well.
the other
He
one?
did
It was
figure
I don't know.
it was like the what's it called?
Hey pal, you know
David.
the thing called The Last Supper?
The
Yeah, that
statue
was
of
made by
David.
Da Vinci.
The
Yeah,
statue
I
of
was
David.
thinking it
That's the
was
one I was
David, but I
thinking
wasn't
of.
sure. But yeah, but no, Da Vinci did like a bunch of art. He's like the lady with Ermine was a really popular one. He did the Annunciation one. He did like what else he did besides Mona Lisa? All I can remember is the Mona Lisa. But
He did that weird
Okay.
fetus one. Anyways, let's go
yeah,
predict, guys.
Anyway,
let's make
um,
predictions.
The Da
let's
Vinci,
Nats. Let's
he
hear it. Which
invented
side?
scissors. I'm going paper
Um,
X. I always go paper X.
I'm going with Paper Rex here,
Paper
and
X.
my reason is Paper Rex come off a big win. They're gonna have all their confidence back. I think that they're gonna be fragging well. While like look at Global Esports, they've lost their coach, and they've been looking deflated ever since. I just think Global Esports have been having a rough one, and
Dude.
they're not gonna be able to recover for this match.
GE is
Right.
so bad. They just honestly like the thing with GE is there's some rosters where you see the team and you're just like there's no hope. But this roster does have hope at least. Like if you remove everyone besides Udotan and Crystal, like there is hope. Like
I think
genuinely
you can say
like
that Papi stay as well.
Poppy maybe.
Yeah.
But in
He's a
general,
solid
like there
option,
is there is hope for this roster. I just think they're like one or two moves away from being genuinely good.
Yeah, and I think they need a coach. That's like the most important
Yeah,
part.
they need a
And
coach
get
and they
Benka
need a
in, bro.
duelist.
Trust.
Dude, yeah, I
Listen,
think
Benka
Benka is
is
actually a
the
great show.
It's gonna give them so much aura. It's just
Listen, all I'm
I don't know, I
saying
think
is
Benkai's a
that
smart dude.
Benkai was on the roster 2022, 2023 when Paper X were at their most creative. 24, he wasn't on there. Paper X weren't creative at all. 25, he wasn't on there. They're not creative. That's all I'm saying. You know,
that is true.
there's a common denominator here. Anyway,
Yes.
next one we got Talon versus T1. Well,
Okay, I
this
tried with the
T1.
Talon logo.
where the hell-
That talent logo is actually like really
Fire.
fucking good, dude. Yeah, that's actually you cooked. Holy fuck.
I take it.
That's why he's the
Uh,
Da Vinci and you're the Monet.
Yeah, I'm the Monet, I'm the Monet, and he's
I'm
the
gonna go Talon. I think T1 isn't going to
Wow.
change their stuff. Like I think T1 will still play their old stuff. I think Talon, they have a chip on their shoulder. They have to win this game if they want to qualify for playoffs. So if they're going to have a chance at qualifying for playoffs, so I think Talon are gonna like try their hardest.
Primo. That's my argument why T1 wins. Primo.
Remove
Primo.
like the
Lock it
cow.
in. Yeah, Primo, like the cow.
Revoke goes T1.
Yeah, I'm going T1 here. I just think T1 are too
T1.
good of a fucking team. I mean, yeah, they had a
I mean,
disappointing series against RQ,
they lost to
but
RRQ.
I think RQ played incredible. I mean,
You
RQ
think
were
Talon can play to that level if push
no, I
comes
don't
to
think Talon can play. No, I do not think Talon can play to that level. I think Talon is a squad that that is on the day they can play well, but like I think, I mean, especially with with the unfortunate passing of Cruz's dad, I think it's gonna affect them mentally as well. I don't have hope for Talon.
Right.
I think in stage 2 they can come back harder, but in stage 1, I don't believe.
I think it's over. Okay. Talon, no. God. Why are we vandalizing the logo? That's kind of messed
I'm
up, no?
drawing X out eyes, bro. They're dead. T1 is
Yeah,
gonna kill him.
you killed the Talon died. Yeah.
T1, even if all of Talon's players show up, they're not beating T1. They're not. I'm sorry.
You know
I
what,
see.
bro?
I think that's over.
I know how Talon wins. Put Meteor on ISO and Reyna every map.
No,
Boom.
no. You know how Talon wins?
I think they will
They
do that.
sub back in Carpe. Carpe back to the
Dude,
main
sure.
roster.
No. They sub Carpe for stacks. No, and then Meteor plays Reyna every map. That's
Oh
how
my
Talon
gosh.
wins.
And they
That's
move
how.
Buzz to Initiator.
No,
Carpe
Buzz.
Buzz on server.
Buzz controller, dude.
Buzz used to play Astra, you know.
Yeah, he used to play
I did
Astra.
not know.
He used to play Astra on like what, Split and Bind, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
he also
but
used to
his
play
omens
Ascent.
is 0.86.
They had
Dude.
Yeah, they had RB play
RP
duelist,
being duelist.
and that was I love
Good.
RB, but he was not playing a good duelist back then. Anyway,
You like RB? I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Ugh.
I think this might be my best work yet.
Oh, dude, this is
Is
actually
it?
such a good
Is
match.
this your
I
Mona
liked your
Lisa?
I liked your
I
Noxian
think it's
data
like
and
more than
DFM
Lisa.
better.
You
But
do?
anyway,
I think I'm just improving.
who are you going for?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go for RRQ. I think Team Secret is not doing
RRQ.
shit.
Team Secret?
Okay,
Oh, what? Oh, my bad. I was looking at my
let's
paint. In
let's
my
write
paint, I
in
had RRQ.
RRQ.
Oh, no, that is this is good. I think Genji will win. I don't know what Flashback is up to. I think DRX is just lost at this point. Lost the plot. Okay, no, I said RRQ
Dude,
because I'm looking at my own paint and I have RRQ Team Secret open there.
do we know who's playing for this match? Because it's so dependent
Most
Yeah,
on
Flashback will
likely
play. I think
Bane.
it's Estrella and Bane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beatrella Bane.
Okay. Huh. So Estrella's not playing?
No, Stray's
No,
playing
Shredder's
into
playing.
flashback.
Flashback's not playing.
Flashbacks.
Oh.
So same
Oh.
roster as last week.
I'm gonna go Genji.
No
I
faith
like
for DRX.
Genji.
You
Well,
see,
like
no faith for DRX.
Genji
Oh.
actually has like better attack win rate and defense win rate than
You know what
DRX
would
right
make Genji
now.
the best team in the world? If
King.
they get Urutan to play Sentinel for them.
No, if they get King back after he finishes military this year.
Dude,
get
actually
King.
fucking
They
true.
sign
Holy
Oh my
RB as
God, King, I
initiator.
forgot about him.
Three-peat champs.
Oh yeah,
You know what? They should sign
RB and
RB
King.
and then fucking keep him in like sub jail forever. That's what I think.
Yeah, just do with him what they did with Suggest.
But let
Yeah,
the man retire in place.
fucking real.
Okay. That's who you got.
See, I'm going with the tried and true DRX. I mean, I think Genji have been playing well, but they also played against like their most recent matches are against like the worst teams, right? I think DRX still played an incredible series against a very good Boom, right? This is like Boom at their peak, while Genji played a weaker Boom, I would say, and lost. I'd say that overall, I understand like yes, flashback is gone, and that's a huge part of your power. But like, I think that now that you have decided on like the roster, they will have a better like because they were screwing with flashback previously, right? And now that they have a settled system with Estrella, well, this is like his third game IG outing, and they Bane will be more comfortable coming in now. I think that DRX have a better chance of taking it over Genji.
I agree. I'm gonna go DRX as well. I think like the logical pick is Genji because they've been looking better and better every week. Whereas DRX, they just made a roster change and they didn't look that good with their roster change. But I think they didn't get like barely any prep with that roster and they were definitely trying things out freeing. I just have faith in DRX to look good because I think this current roster, like if they don't lean into the double duelist or if they put Dane on duelist, they'll look much better than they did last week. And I think they still have the potential to be a top team. And while Gen G have been looking better and better, I still have a bit of questions for them, especially when it comes to some of their maps, like especially when Munchkin is playing Viper, like on Haven. And I just I think the logical choice is Gen G, like maybe like a 60-65 or a 60-40 or a 55
I
45.
think this is the closest 50-50 match that we can get. I mean, both teams
Yeah,
really
I
good.
Yeah,
agree. It's just, I think the only other, I think this match will be insanely good. The only match that I think compared to this, if you're only looking at other teams, would be Boom RQ. I think that match, if that happens, would be
I
insanely
think
good too.
Broom is stomping RQ, bro.
Nah, trust
I
Morgan is gonna
disagree.
Okay,
X-Men is gonna play against his.
we're about to talk about it. So, or are we? No, we're not. We're
No, we're
I mean,
not. RQ's playing
they're not even
secret.
close. They're in different groups.
Yeah, they're in different groups. Sadly, that would have been a really fucking fun match.
Right. Next is Longshot
wait. Do
Zeta.
Boom RQ even play again? This
No,
they don't. They
Only
play.
Team Secret.
they're secret, but that's later. That's like the last one we have to go over right now.
Wait. So
Nongshim
why are
Zeta.
we talking about Boom RQ?
We're
Because
just
I'm
saying,
saying like
in terms of
like
quality,
yeah, in terms of game quality, like
Oh,
if
I
we're
thought you meant like
excluding
a
DRX
game
and
that's gonna be
Genji,
played. Like I thought you were talking
no,
about
no,
the
no,
games that
no,
are gonna be
no,
played. I'm like, Boom play RQ.
no, 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 no.
Anyway, this is a good one. Like, I outdid
you think I
myself
have a
here.
future in art?
Oh, your
Yeah.
Nongshan was cooking. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Only Longshot put this much effort in their teams.
Okay. Let's hear it then from the artiste himself.
I'm gonna put Zeta because the meteor genes go hard. 10-10 is gonna carry them.
Okay.
This is hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Really? I don't know. I
Well,
had you pegged
actually,
as a
I don't know. Let me think.
because I feel
No,
like
no.
the way you're
Initially,
talking
I
about
was.
10-10 before made me think you were
I
looking for
initially,
Nongshim.
I initially was going to do Nongshim, but I don't know, dude. They're just Nongshim's so weird to me. Like I feel like they're so good and then they're just so fucking bad, and it's really hard to tell. And I think Zeta's like consistently just all right. So it's really just up to who if Nongshim decides to not be horrible. And I think
Your Hades. I saw you trying to make a Korea flag, but then you realize it's too hard, so you just didn't make it.
Bro, that's the Zeta or that's the
No, no,
Japanese one.
that's
Oh,
the Japanese flag. But I knew you tried to do the same for Nongshim to make the Korean flag. You realize it's too hard, so you didn't make it.
you know what?
how do you
You know
know?
what?
How do you know?
No, I saw the hesitation.
You know what? Nah, I'm still gonna put Nongshim. Fuck it.
You read me like a book, actually. Oh my god. That's
Okay. Of that, um, I'm going with Nongshin because I just looked at the map veto and I think it favors Nongshin a little bit more. because Zeta banned Fracture, and I think Nongshin look horrible in Fracture. So
Don't pick up vibes. I don't think Noxian has good vibes. Like they might have good vibes in their team, but I think the team itself has good vibes outside. Like when I think of Noxian, I think of a middle of the pack team.
they
True
are
mid.
pretty.
Some harsh
I feel
criticism.
like I feel like Nongshin are just like such a like the Revoke said, like a bit of an inconsistency. I think they're middle of the
Good.
pack, like if you average it out, but like I don't think they play like middle of the pack.
They are exactly middle of the pack if you average it out, by the way.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also because like they play super good and then they play super bad.
Yep, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
Hades, I just
Zeta.
want to say
Yeah.
yes.
What were you gonna say?
But I was gonna say that they have 10-10. 10-10 is related to Meteor. Meteor plays for T1. T1 has Buzz, and Buzz used to play with RB.
Connection,
Yeah.
familial connection.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna support Zeta, even though I think they're definitely the underdogs. I could really see Nonshin choking. I could really see them like putting Dambi on Neon and then it's not working at all. Right? I think
Right? Imagine a future where Zeta wins. I think that future is more fun than the future where Noxian wins.
exactly Sugar Hero back, Like that's the
Japanese
future I
Valorant
want to
will be
live in.
back.
But yeah, I think this game is probably like maybe 65-35 Nongxin. If you really want to get maybe like 70, I think that's fair. But anyway. VFM, who is this?
It's boom.
Oh, that's the Boom logo. Okay, you gotta admit though, I had a better drawing of Boom than this, whatever this is here.
No,
mine was better.
I strongly disagree.
It's the alpha man.
What do
Boom,
you mean I do that?
boom.
You
Just
don't believe
put everyone boom. If you put DFM, I'm actually gonna crash out. I need to go to
Oh.
sleep, dude. Don't make this
Wait.
more complicated than it needs to
Bro,
be.
I have no clue what I just did, but
Hit
Oh,
the
okay.
arrow.
Fine.
Hit the arrow.
Everybody's
okay,
gonna
it's
put
okay,
boom.
it's
No
okay.
one's gonna put DFM.
Please.
H,
Just
and I'm
get
not
it.
even gonna write out our full names, just initials.
Yeah.
NR. Boom. Okay, what's
Okay.
next?
Cool.
Okay, boom. I'm
RQ
gonna destroy
secret,
it.
please. Everyone just put RQ. Move on with our day.
Yeah, please. Just speed it up. Just put an RQ there. Okay.
Dude, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, my reasoning is if Team Secret can't be, they don't put effort in that fucking Valorant team. I should have put effort drawing their logo.
That's fair. Okay, so you
Another
you
white.
all believe in RQ?
Yep.
Oh,
Listen.
don't do it,
Team
boy.
Secret, they are yet to get a win this stage. They always
Yeah.
get a win
They'll keep
every
waiting. They'll
once
keep
in a
waiting. They're
while.
not
This
beating
is the
RQ.
game. They're not gonna go winless. This is the game. RQ is
Listen,
gonna
that was
show.
when they had warboards.
Dude,
that's
RQ's
when they
the
had
third
warboards.
best team in fucking Pacific.
Okay, no, I'm messing
statistically.
with you.
They're
I'm messing
actually
with you.
crazy.
Listen,
I
Team
erased their
Secret,
whole
we don't
logo,
need them.
bro. I'm messing.
Yeah, that's
They don't deserve
okay.
they don't deserve this spot. Anyway, is that it?
they don't deserve.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. We're gonna be EME China when tomorrow, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, it is tomorrow. I don't know. I don't have a good time to say because
Dude,
I'm
there's a
frustrated.
match in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway,
URXGE. Get to see
Anyway,
Poppy
it's been a
Masterclass.
pleasure. Please subscribe. Please join the Discord if you want. What else? Like the video.
Please attend the China EME episode. It'll be very
At
good.
100 subscribers, do we have 100? We already have 100. At 200, Nats will do a giveaway of. What will you give away?
What am I giving away?
At
Dude.
200.
At 200.
One
Oh.
one
When we hit 1 million subscribers, I'll buy a DFM Classic.
I'm broke, bro. I can't buy shit. What
Yeah,
in my room can I
Hey,
buy?
hey,
I'll give
you-
away
Yeah,
this
bro.
picture of
You-
RB over there.
If
I
we
was
hit
gonna say,
1,000
bro, I said 1 million subscribers. If you hit 1 million, you won't be broke no more, boy.
If we hit 1,000, I'm
A
gonna do
million,
top
and we
five.
split it like 8 ways. That's not that.
Anyways, I think we're still broke.
A
Well, I'm taking.
million, and you give me the channel, and I steal it, and I take all the money. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Well, bye, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay, are we done? I think I ended it.